We interrupt this program. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow. The National Primary EAS system has issued a National Emergency Action Notification for the continental United States. This station has interrupted its regular program at the request of the U.S. government to participate in the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. The National Primary EAS system has issued a National Emergency Action Notification for the continental United States. This station has interrupted its regular program at the request of the U.S. government to participate in the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test.
The following message is being delivered at the direction of the United States government. This is an attack warning. I repeat, this is an attack warning. An attack warning indicates that an attack on this country has been identified, and that protective measures should be initiated. NORAD has detected the launch of 6 nuclear missiles. It has been verified that these missiles are directed towards the continental United States. This is not a test. It is anticipated that these missiles will be armed with nuclear warheads. Since the targets are unknown at this time, all civilians in the United States are highly encouraged to remain calm and seek underground refuge. Make sure you have enough non-perishable canned meals and drinkable water for the next 14 days. When the threat is passed, an all-clear siren will sound. The all-clear siren will sound like an air raid siren. Once the all-clear siren is heard, it is permissible to go outdoors. You hear the all-clear siren.
Spend a little bit of light trying to find my heart. Funny when I break out a lifestyle dark. Honey when I rank in a tight flow spark. When a psycho drop, playing dice go starter. Who are you? Better know yourself. Know your soul, gotta know your wealth. Slow your mind, get know your milk. And don't you follow me like hell. Well, who am I? Am I me? I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Letting try to get myself a lamb color for the game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your boy Red Dawn Readiness's Friday night live stream. It's another Fuck It Friday, and we are here getting ready for all the good things ahead. So, how's everybody doing tonight? My boy Tim Harper left the first comment. Kevin Ramsey, Gunslinger. Scoop, Drew in Oregon in the building. What's happening? Tech Money, my brother. Good to see you. Joseph G, welcome. Good to see you, man. Zanny Misfit, Rip Curl, the Watchman. Yo, thanks for coming through, Watchman. It's good to see you in here, man. Would you like to play a game? I think that's from a movie, isn't it? What's going on? We got Wired Tight in the building. Good to see you, my brother. Zanty, yeah. Looks like we're playing tic-tac-toe. Yep. How'd you guys like that little intro? That was a really cool channel that I saw, and I've actually been feeling very therapeutic listening to that. I don't know why. It just vibes with me, but I like it. I like all the morning stuff, so... if anybody's got Tim Harper's number, my boy hasn't made it in yet. and I'm not sure why, but I'm sure he will see the live or something, or maybe something crazy came up. So we're waiting for him to join. What's up, C? James Lynch, shall we play a game? Yep. And yeah, y'all. So I got my comms ready for when our dude gets here. Right, Mr. Tim Harper. I don't know where you at, but we calmed up. Hold on.
Frequency mode.
Are we ready to go? Just waiting on him. So hopefully he'll join us. I mean, he's a super 2A advocate, 2A auditor, radio communication specialist, has done countless things for the Second Amendment, for radio communications in his own area. He's got videos freaking reaching out to people on different frequency bands from all over the country. Global thermal nuclear war. It's a possibility, right? I mean, it's looking like Donald Trump has got it in the bag, and who knows what the next stop is, right? They've tried it all. Million court cases, try firing some rounds at the man. And now that RFK has joined them, dude, they're looking unstoppable. And they're kind of exactly what the country needs right now. We need some dudes who are ready to flip the script and get things back. I'm a huge fan of RFK running with Donald Trump. I wasn't a huge fan of him as the president, but I must say I'm a big fan of him next to Donald Trump. Nice. We just got notification that our thing was being shipped out. Cool. So how's everybody's week been? Excited it's Friday. What's up, Fluffy Bunny? J Paz, James Lynch. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's Friday right now. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the weekend. I'm gonna probably pick up a little side job this weekend, trying to work with my plumbing buddy to make some extra dough, and hopefully get some training in, and just keep trying to do the things, man. Keep the head above the water, and tread a little bit of water, and keep going till the rescue boat arrives. Is it? Wow. Not on this stream. It's not Mike McClune. It's about your kit, man. It's about not having a FUD kit. Maybe I'll change it to FUD so we can clarify what it's all about. What's up, Edge of the South? So here's the deal. All right, let's see what Watchman's talking about. Here's the deal. The strike forces are in the Middle East, and judgment starts at the house of God. Could be Israel first, then America, the Babylon. It could be. It could be. I tell you what, there's a lot of people in America that are working on repentance, and I know God saves the land if he's got some believers there praying and doing the right thing. So, we're not quite in the days of Noah. I know it seems that way sometimes, but we still have a lot of believers and a lot of people who are praying for protection, and I think that's a good thing, y'all. I called for it on Lou Valentino's stream when I was watching RFK and Trump on the stage tonight, and dude, everybody should say a prayer for them that we start moving in the right direction. Is Donald Trump perfect? No. If he's a plant, we can't control that. But the message that's being put out right now, him speaking live at the GOA goals event, well, not live in person, but live on a screen, or maybe it was pre-recorded. I don't know. But he made an entrance at the GOA goals event, and he is fully on board with all the stuff that he should have been on board in the first time around, but it's looking a whole lot better, and we need to get this stuff right. Looks like a placement of commodity. It would seem that way this week, right? Because the DNC's going and they're blowing all the smoke up everybody's behind they can. I don't think they had as good of a turnout. I don't think they're having as good of a reaction to her as everyone would seem. It's just that they're putting on a really good show. You know what I mean? Like it appears that they want to screw the fix hardcore. And yeah, I mean that's what they want, but it seems like it's not working as well as they want it to in all reality. I completely understand why Tim Walls wanted tampons in the men's room. Once I saw it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen them, so that would probably make sense. I'm not surprised. Oh yeah, keep in mind what he did. Oh, Adam Kinzinger. Yep. So yeah, y'all. I mean, talking a little bit about prepping. Hopefully, Tim makes it in, and but some things to be focused on. Make sure your ammo storage is as high. You know, look, we're really fortunate. Ammo is still priced decently. Even firearms are priced well right now. We're way out of the COVID reaction of firearm costs. I remember when 2020 came around, and this might have been like kind of during lockdowns ish, but my state wasn't like ultra locked down like that. But I bought a Keltec Sub 2000 for like 800 something dollars. I overpaid a boatload for that thing. And I wanted it so bad because I wanted 9 mil. I thought maybe stuff was on the way at the time in 2020. And I'm like, a 9 mil rifle takes Glock bags. Great. I want this thing so bad. I had a friend that I ended up selling it to. Obviously, I lost money on it and put money into it as well. I changed the muzzle brake and got some of that stuff from what's the name of the company? I forget, but they do good work, and it'll come to me in a little bit. Um, but they yeah, man, 2020 was nuts. When you saw ammo prices, they were selling boxes of 9 mil, like 50 round range boxes for like $50, $60 at the time. For mines in 2020. Dang, Tech Money, that sounds like a good deal. Oh, mines. You got one then. Yeah, dude. It just depends on the area you're in, bro, and what they have available. Um Today California charges $5 permission for each box of ammo. They probably do. They probably do, man. Um Costco noon tomorrow. Ah. I won't be available flying rich. I got crazy amounts of stuff I got going on. You can come to some training though if you want to. If you got some gear with you, you want to come train, you can hit me up, come to some training. Um, let's see. So yeah, back to preps. Ammo storage, um, food supply, water filters. Goon Beam in the house. Shout out to my dog Goon Beam. Best flashlights on the market. Goon Beam, I gotta get with you and get some more stuff, brother. There's a couple more lights I'm gonna have to snag from you, bro, because I need it. I definitely need an EDC light. My EDC light is freaking slacking. This is all I got right now, and it is not very bright. Like when I turn the Goon Beam on in a room like this, the whole room changes. This look, hold on, let's turn it off. Look how much difference. Nothing. Barely anything. When I turn a Goon Beam on, it's like I turned the sun on. No, I need to get an EDC light, brother. Good to see y'all. Make sure y'all go to goonbeam.com, use code DARK or code Tactical Turkeys, save you a little bit of money. And dude, if you ain't picked up a Goon Beam yet, you missing out. I know. So who in this chat's got a Goon Beam? Santi Misfit, you got one? Tech Money, you got one? Come on, y'all. Who's got a Goon Beam? Because Goon Beam is the real deal. The real deal, Holyfield. Scoop got a Goon Beam. Shout out, Scoop. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, dude. I way overpaid for a Keltec Sub 2000 back in 2020. It was ridiculous. And they were just hard to get. There was like a run where they were hard to find. I couldn't even find them anywhere during 2020. I literally could not find that thing. There were maybe 3 stores that had them, and I couldn't find any of them online. It was like, I don't know, the hottest thing on the block in 2020. Everyone was scooping them. The Gen 2s. Oh, yeah. Drew in Oregon got a Goon Beam. Bro, you don't need to test one out. We've all tested them, Rip. Go get you one. Stop playing. Stop playing, Goon Beam. You give me a code, bro? Bro, for real? Hell yeah, dog. Yo, use code Red Dawn. Save you some money over at Goon Beam, bro. Goon Beam, that's what's up, bro. Appreciate you, man. Code Red Dawn. That's what's up. I honestly need to scoop one of your red lights too, because we just gonna have to do it like that. Red, blue, green, IR plus the bright white. Heck yeah. They're all sick, dude. The blue one's sick, the green one's. I want them all. I want every Goon Beam that he's got. They're all awesome. Heck yeah. Code Red Dawn. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Use code Red Dawn for Goon Beam. I'm gonna be putting that everywhere, bro. Appreciate you, Goon Beam. Bro, I couldn't go for a high point, right? I just can't. I couldn't do the high point carbine. That thing looks like you found it in a junkyard in somebody's trunk. I just can't do it. I mean, I know that they work well. It's probably like their best working product they make, but I just can't do it. Can't do it. And I think I borrowed money. I think I went to Amscott and borrowed a bunch of money to buy that damn $800 freaking rifle on a cash advance. Paid their ass off every couple of weeks. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. I don't know about broke life if you ain't done Amscott cash advance. Oh man, can't believe I just told that story. Yeah, the S2000 was the one to get for sure. The one with the built-in suppressor is ridiculous. And that was like when they came out with that one. It was really hard to get. I don't know if it's still hard to get, but you also had it where they made the new rail on that one way before the Gen 3. They had the suppressed one and the rail turned so you could put an optic on it and fold it up still, which I was super jealous about. My gunsmith, who I trained under, he had that one, and it was super sick. You got the high point? I mean, dude, under $200 is hard to beat, bro. Can't lie. Now, I tell you what else I got on a super duper steal, man, was my Kalashnikov KP9. They are obviously y'all know about Kalashnikov and the disappearance of them. And I think they got bought by someone, but who knows if they're ever going to come back. And I got a KP9 for $550 out the door. And I don't know why it was so cheap. I have no idea why it was so cheap, but it was. And it had like upgrades on it and everything. Had a silencer code break on it. I was really lucky. And I called my boy. I'm like, yo, I need to borrow $200 that I'll hit you back with, because I cannot pass up this KP9. And he has a KP9 and he's been like, dude, you got to get one. You got to get one. So when I came up with one, I was like, he makes really good money. He'll let me borrow 200. And I paid him back. You always pay people back. Nah. I paid 800 for the Keltec Sub 2000 in 2020. Now they're back down to their normal price, 350, 500. I think I see them going for sometimes. They're a little outdated now. I think basically the AR9s and all that stuff is just kind of over. You put a folding stock in an AR9 or one of those stocks that fully compress, you can pretty much get it to the same size as the Sub 2000. The thing with the Sub 2000, what got me was like, you still have to unfold it, and you can't have an optic on it, and you can't keep a mag in it when it's folded, because then the size of everything just changes. You could maybe keep like a flush mag. I guess you could keep a flush mag, but I mean, I want to keep a flush mag. Just use my pistol if I'm gonna have a flesh mag. I want the 30-round stick in there. But my buddy uses it now as a truck gun, and I know he likes it. It is a shooter. I can't lie. That sub 2000 is like firing off 9 mil, or I mean, like a 22 rifle. There's no recoil in that thing. It's like dun, 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 dun. Nice and flat. Hell yeah, bro. Goon Beam is awesome, bro. If y'all missed that, use code Red Dawn over at Goon Beam and get yourself some savings and go get you a Goon Beam, bro. First of all, they're already priced amazingly. And the fact that he does stuff like that, bro, Goon Beam, not only is Goon Beam's products the man, he's in Red Dawn's chat, bro. He's in our chats. He messes with us, bro. He's like a real dude. Go see if Streamlight's gonna hop in somebody's chat and kick it with him and give him a code like that off rip on a live. Goon Beam, he's just a real dude, bro. He'll anything goes wrong with your Goon Beam, they'll take care of it too. That's what's awesome. Unless you do something totally retarded, that obviously you like did something ridiculous to it. But if bro, Goon Beam gonna take care of you. That's Goon Beam is the OG. Yeah, sub 2000 is a tech driver. And X-Star EP9, you can't go wrong. Nah, you can't go wrong with the EP9. I really like the Matador Arms one. That it's just crazy expensive. That's out of my price league for a 9 mil. The Matador Arms, where you know it doesn't have a buffer tube, and you could put an AK folding stock on it. I would probably prefer that over, especially if it takes Glock mags. I'd probably prefer that over my KP9, but the KP9 now is just so classic, and you can't really get them much. So I'm happy with it. Drew, you just used my code, bro. Nice, man. That's freaking awesome, Drew. Hell yeah. Appreciate that, bro. Code Red Dawn in the house. That's awesome, man. I can't thank you guys enough. Drew, you the man. Goon Beam, all of you guys. Flying Rich is in the house. Wow, you know I appreciate y'all. Yo, does anybody have Tim Harper's number? Tim Harper sent me like 45 emails since we scheduled this, and now he's not here. I'm like, what's going on, Tim? What's going on, Tim? Where you at, bro? Maybe I had to hit him up on a ham radio or something. Strategy anyway. All right, thanks for coming through, Watchman. Appreciate you, man. I don't know. Tim Harper's ghosting. So radios, obviously I have them. I hope that in SHTF I come across someone like a Tim Harper or someone that can get everything up and running quick. Right now I can kind of use them as like just like, hey, you get on this channel, I get on this channel, and beep beep beep. But all the other specialties about all that stuff, I'm not great at. And I'm working on it. But if you don't have them, then I don't know how you're going to learn how to use them if you don't have them. So, any good air pistols? I have I should have bought a freaking Glock, but I had a Beretta APX at the time. And so I bought the Beretta air pistol, and I use it in my backyard to like shoot at hawks and anything trying to come near my chickens. They'll come post up on something and like right by my chickens, and I'm like, cap, get out of here. Salute Z, DB Cooper in the house. Good to see you, bro. So yeah, we got ammo, water filters. Those two things are huge. Today I lost power at my house, and I went to go run my generator, and I couldn't get my generator to start. So this weekend I'm gonna be messing with my generator. It seems like the battery, maybe you guys know this, but it seems like the battery was dead. And if the battery's dead, is my generator not gonna run? So like, I've been disconnecting it also, and it's fairly new, a couple years old. I probably used it less than 10 times. I don't know why the battery would be dead. The gas might have been a little old. I could try the gas. switching the gas and just running it and see what it does. But it seems like the battery was like kick, 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 kick. Solar activity? I'm not sure. I'm still skeptical about the whole Carrington events and solar, the sun taking us all out. I'm a bit skeptical of it. Although, when God wants to do something, maybe he would use the sun like that. I don't know. Technology, I know he's not a fan of the type of technology we have. So I could see it. It could happen. Aha! You did hear that, didn't you, do knowledge? Yes, yes. If y'all, I've talked about it before, man. If anybody out there needs some night vision, Rick's Tactical, we got the nods on deck. Let me pull them up. Let's pull these bad boys up. These things are vicious. Rip Curl, if you ain't got a set yet, bro, hit me up. Because these right here, white phosphorus, 14 to 1600 FOM. Boy, we got the hookup on these. So give me a call. I'm going to beat this price here by a good amount. So anybody who's interested in nods, Rip Curl, did you get any nods yet? I decided to order a Dead Air Wolfman. Bro, how many suppressors you ordering, bro? You can get some nods. Because I have the old one. I have my 9mm can. That thing's going to be super long with a can on it. It's already 16 inches of 9mm. That thing is going to be long. Yeah. So, yeah, y'all. Anybody interested in night vision, hit me up. You'll probably see some videos here soon. And I'll be showing them off. Yeah, Drew's got a set. And it works. Solid. Shoot. These guys over at the Tactical Turkeys are jumping in swimming pools with them. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but they did it for us. So that's what they're there for. The can is short. I know, dude, but it's already still so long. Rip Curl, you got MVGs yet? I'll tell you one thing. I cannot wait to get out and do some night shooting. I'll show you guys another product. That it's cheap on the market, and I have one, but I'm having some mounting issues. Let's share this. And what's up, big fish, little boat? I don't know what piece you pulled out of what I just said. That's what she said. All right, so this isn't that fancy dancy stuff that Big Fish Little Boat has, but this is in my budget. And this right here is a little lamb device. You have green, blue, or red laser that you can get, IR laser, and white light. And then they have one that has not white light, but it has an IR illuminator instead. And check out the prices, bro. Check out the prices. So this is the one I have, the original AX68. The lumens is good. It's not as a hotspot or nothing like a freaking Goonbeam is, but for $100, it's held zero over about 500 rounds. Like I haven't shot with it with nods on, but just using like the actual laser that you can see, which I have the blue one. Oh, this one's 90 with the IR illuminator. And this is the new one where they've updated the mounting system and all that. What's nice about it is from some of the devices I've seen that are cheaper, it's really hard to like change between white light and your laser and everything. But this has this knob on top that's rigid as hell and rechargeable batteries. So it's a pretty decent thing for what the price you're looking at. The whole body of it is metal, so it's not plastic like one of the fake PEC units or something you'll get from China, which this is from China too, but it's not plastic, which I don't think I would want anything with a plastic body. And even those, they want like $500 for them with a plastic body. Z says, keep in mind, get your 10-year license for GMRS. It covers your whole family with one license. I will do that, Z. And if you can hit me with an email how I get my GMRS license, I think I've looked it up a few times, but if you know, like, if I just take a test or something, then that would be dope. So if you hit me with an email, I need to get on that as well. Definitely need to get my license. If I didn't have to replace a back door and a roof, I would. Dang, Fluffy Bunny, that's tough. A roof? Can't you put it through the insurance? But you still got to pay a deductible, don't you? Yeah. So we got some of the realest of the reels in the chat. You just pay a fee. Oh, okay. You just pay a fee. You don't have to take a test for GMRS. Just fill out a form and pay money for a GMRS license. Oh shit, that is what's up. Oh, I'm getting that shit done. I might have to wait till next Friday is payday. Yeah, Somo gear. That's the one. Is plastic, and they want $500 for that shit. I'm going with the S. If you want the budget builds, you know your boys are building on a budget. You know the Build Back Better slogan? My slogan is Build Back Budget. I have a good set of PVS 7s, but I have been saving up for the 14s or 35s, and on one side and a thermal unit on the other. That way I can choose night vision or thermal, keep my natural vision on the unused side. That's not a bad idea. I think that's I mean, I don't have any experience with having a thermal on one and a nod on the other. I wonder, you'd probably want the night vision on your shooting dominant eye and your thermal on your non-dominant eye is my guess. 235 for the Somo gear? Let's see. What is it? It's the D-ball. Isn't that which one it is? All right, let's check these out. I think it's the PEC 15. That's the one, right? Screen share. But I've heard horrible things about them, Drew. So this is the one I'm thinking of, the Engall. They want 500 for that. I think the Engall might be metal, hot metal or something. It's called potted. And then the PEC 15, I guess you're right, is around that. Look, up to 260 though. And then Delta aiming IR laser. Yeah, they're plastic, man. Freaking plastic. I just can't do a plastic nothing on my gun. I just don't trust it. Then they have an airsoft laser IR laser. That's super cheap. Are they saying that no airsoft? Are they saying this one's not airsoft? This one is airsoft? This one's not airsoft? I don't know. I'm scared to pay $200 something for something that might not hold zero and might break right away. Anybody got any experience with the Somo gears? Yeah, the PEC 15. The Engall, I think, seems like the best one because it is metal. And then they say it's potted, which I'm not sure. I guess that means there's metal internals. Friends can't let friends Somo gear. What do the friends do? Like donate them a PEC 15 unit, like a real one? Pass them off a lamb? An unused, sitting in a drawer lamb? Yo, so our boy didn't make it in. Said 30 minutes. He knows what time the show is. I hope he's safe. I hope he's well. I guess we will try to reschedule him for next week. I'm dropping the link because I know all you guys in this chat. Y'all are the realest ones. Big Fish, hop your behind up here. Let's talk lambs. Anybody else want to hop in? Y'all are the realest chat right here. I ain't got nobody that I'm worried about. Just show yourself on camera and make sure you ain't doing anything nasty. Goon Beam, if you want to click that link, bro, that would be epic. And I will change the thumbnail to the video for whoever jumps up here. Bully each other into buying a laser that costs more than a hoopty until I find the Chinese laser plug, right? Now, you ain't bullying me into buying bro, my wife ain't even got a car. She'll break my legs if I did that. She'll break my legs. Go ahead, Rip Curl, if you want to hop in. PVS 7. Isn't this PVS 7 the one where it's like two things you look through with your eyes, but it has like the Cyclops 1 tube that takes in all the information? I just don't know how you like shoot with that. Like you have to put your gun in the middle of your face or something to kind of get to it. Yeah, you do got the Hollow Sun night vision red dot. That thing's pretty sick. Because you could use that. Get the D ball on a budget. Get a D ball on a budget. How do you get a D ball on a budget? A real D ball? I don't know. How you get a D ball on a budget, Fish? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's see. Ronin Prepper says, right now I'm building 2 AR pistols, 10.5 and 11.5, both with the ballistic advantage barrels. All right. Here's a real question for the chat. And I know my answer. Which barrels are better? Ballistic advantage or Roscoe? Ballistic advantage or Roscoe barrels? Nice, Joseph. Another Goon Beam. Code Red Dawn in the house. Let's go. Bro, Joseph, you made a great is that your first Goon Beam? Because you're gonna love it. That you are gonna love your Goon Beam. Every day I have to just look at my Goon Beam. It's like owning a star on your rifle. It's just amazing. I've got a legit D-ball A2 I'd probably sell. Ooh, Toy Town Inc. Nice. Let's go. I agree. Roscoe for the win. I'm taking a Roscoe. I love my Roscoe barrel, bro. And they got some even dope. They got a barrel they made in conjunction with not Wiseman. I always want to call him Wiseman Company. Let me see if I could find his stuff. But he runs training classes. He does some great videos too on YouTube. Let's see. I know I got something in my watch later. His name is where is he? Where is this guy? How can I not remember his name? Somebody might know. Is it Sage Dynamics? Nah, not Sage Dynamics. The Roscoe conjunction barrel where they did like a thing together? Nope, not Sage. It's let me find him now. It is they used to own the giant range in Florida. What's his name? He does tons of videos. Actually, no, I deleted the other channel that I had them posted by. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I'm looking for. Oh yeah, bro. Yo, he ships them fast too. Joseph, you gonna love that thing, dude. Come back and hit me in the comments of this video and tell me how you like it when you get it. Oh, I mean, there it is. There it is. Drew knows what time it is. Barrel and hatchet. Yeah, It was barrel and hatchet. Right? And that's a different barrel than the one they did with Sage Dynamics, right? I bought the Mag Lightsaber full size. Ooh, you gonna love that thing, bro. Wow, y'all. He made it. He made it. Tim Harper's in the building. We got him here.
Supposed to be here at 9:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're thinking your time. You're thinking you're not Eastern.
No, I'm in Oklahoma.
I know. I thought I put Eastern.
Okay, I'm sorry. If I
All
didn't
good.
see that, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we held it down. We do got. I got like an echo. Do you have any headphones?
Yeah. Let me
Awesome.
get them set up here real quick.
Okay, cool. Heck yeah, y'all. I had a feeling he wasn't gonna dip on it, so we gonna rock it out. Oklahoma time. All good. So shout out to Tim Harper. You know, this guy does amazing things, dude.
Let me
He's got some of the best content.
Connect these earphones real quick.
Go ahead. Got you. That makes sense, Rip Curl. He's working on the echo, y'all. He's getting some headphones set up, and we should be good to go. I like how he put it. Kamala is drunk again tonight. Yeah, she's got to be drunk, bro. She can't even fathom what she's doing in reality. You know what I mean? She's like, how did I get here? This all started by just sleeping with this lawyer guy, and now look where I'm at. Fluffy says, I have a short one. I highly recommend the Assault also. It's small and bright as the sun. But all the ones I have, I love. My next will be the weapon-mounted light. Heck yeah, Fluffy. Goonbeam is the real deal. Holyfield. Mike McClune says, funny thing, I got my snowblower 3 years ago off my Aunt Diane, replaced the carb, oil, change, and tune-up. I've used it for full time to clear snow. Nice, bro. That's awesome. Logistics, bro. I guarantee he has a learning story for this.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you. We lost video.
Yeah, I have. I'm not seeing where the video is, so hold on.
If you want, you can try to log out real quick and log right back in. It should work. Sometimes it just. There we go.
Yeah, I apologize too. See, I'm at work, and I have free time to do stuff like this when I take care of my business. But tonight, my girlfriend wanted to come up and have dinner with me like she does every Friday. And well, tonight she came a little bit late. I wouldn't have been able to get on an hour ago anyway because she showed up.
No
And
worries.
she just left a few minutes ago. And I was kind of upset about it, but I didn't let her know because I knew I had to meet up with you tonight.
All good, all good. So yeah, man, thanks for coming on the show, bro. If you guys haven't seen Tim Harper's content, man, he's done some amazing things out there in the 2A space, being a 2A auditor, radio communications. He's got a vast of knowledge that we can all benefit from. And you know, I'm really glad he made it to the show. So thanks for coming on, Tim.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here. Let me see.
I got through most of the videos you sent me. Some of them were just apps. Like I had to watch them all the way through because they were just fantastic. Like the one of you walking in the parade. I couldn't stop watching that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. The one with the McLeod Police Department. Did you see that one where the officers just couldn't accept why I would carry my gun in public? And then
Is
the
that
old
the
man
one
at
in the
the
park?
end. No, that's
Okay.
Edmund Hafer Park. That's where they came at me with all their guns. and they were ready, and they realized that we looked stupid. And then they had to get on their phones and Google the gun that I had was legal to carry. Because
Yeah.
at the time, to put things in context too, we were open carry, but it was handguns only. And
Gotcha.
so I had a pistol, I had a handgun, but it sure didn't look like one to them.
Yep.
And you saw them hold the two guns up, and you almost couldn't tell the difference between their ARs and my pistol. And so they got
Yeah.
schooled that day.
They did get
And
schooled
that's what
that
I was
day.
out to do, was school them.
I'm shocked because my gun store, man, there's a lot of cops that come in there, and I'm just surprised that more of them aren't like, yeah, this is an AR pistol. What's the difference between an AR? Like, I don't know how you kind of aren't into guns enough to spend your time researching that, but it's good that, bro, what you do is awesome because people, and I saw one video where you told the cops, you were like, look, we want to get a natural reaction here. So he's like, oh, we'll hang out with you and it'll give us less calls. And he's like, yeah. And you basically said to him, yeah, we kind of want to get people's natural reaction. So we appreciate it if you don't just hang out with us the whole time.
Yeah, they want to be there so that the public feels safe. And well, fine. I can't tell you to leave because it's a public space. But what you
For
could
sure.
do is have your dispatch educate people when they call in. Tell them that it's lawful and I'm not breaking the law, and don't worry about it till I do break the law.
Yeah, and I think I've seen in some of your videos that some departments are getting used to that and they are starting to educate more and they're telling
They are.
people, which is cool.
Like the one where the people called in, you listen to those 911, the 911 calls, they're
Yeah.
funny. They just can't accept that I can walk around with a gun in their city. They can't accept it.
Yeah, and I think the reaction, the wall that you're breaking down by doing that is amazing because even the one video you sent me, where I think it was the Gun Owners of America video, and they were talking, the police officer was talking about how they're like renaming guys and guns in public to a different title. And
Yeah, that was Edmund.
Yeah, and he was basically like, in his mind, you could tell he was battling with it, but what they're not realizing is that is how we form a safe society. We don't form a safe society on the backs of only you guys. You guys cannot do the job that is impossible to do. No, it's not saying like I'm not attacking them that they can't do the job, but they could never keep the entire public safe all at once. It takes good people in society, which this nation was formed on, is a moral and religious people who look out for each other. And I think, dude, the work that you're doing is spreading that more than people even realize in the moment. I think they have like this educational thing that happens in them, and then later down the road, they have to find it that good people can carry guns and be right there to keep you safe.
Yeah, well, our Second Amendment, state Second Amendment organization has done a lot of good work. But a couple years ago, they backtracked on us. They got the municipal league in Oklahoma City and some of the other cities to ban open carry in certain parks in Oklahoma. You can't open carry at any permitted event. And this is after we had our constitutional carry and everything was legal. Some of these videos I went out to show before the laws became ineffective. Yeah, we used to be able to do this in Oklahoma, but now we can't. And guess who passed the laws? Oklahoma Second Amendment Association.
Really?
OK2A. Yep. We had perfect constitutional carry, but they felt like they had to appease a few people. And the first thing they did, they ran a trailer bill to constitutional carry where you couldn't open carry in two parks in Oklahoma, Scissortail Park and the Gathering Place. And these are these big city parks that are the draw to the city, and they are what they call a public trust. And the public trust was running them and said, well, we don't want guns in the park. Well, it's a city park. You have to let the guns in, and they didn't want to do it. And kind of how I came on the scene was I went to the opening of the Gathering Place, and I walked around with my handgun, and they told me to leave. And they just about, well, they did. They forced me out. They pushed me out. And then the city of Tulsa came online and said, well, we've reviewed this and we can't enforce keeping anyone with guns out. It's lawful. And they just threw a tantrum. And so they got the legislators to ban open carry in these two parks. And now they passed laws where you can't carry at events like Pride Parade or Edmond Liberty Fest or the Cinco de Mayo Parade or any event. City arts festivals, you can't open carry at none of these. And in fact, they made the law where you can't carry a long gun. You can only carry a handgun, and it has to be hidden. And we lost those rights under our Second Amendment Association. I've also was instrumental in getting a few laws passed here. It was illegal to carry an unlicensed gun like a rifle, shotgun, or handgun unlicensed on any boat in Oklahoma. And I petitioned my legislator people that I know well here, and we got that changed. So now there's these river boats in Oklahoma City that you can pay a few dollars and ride the canal. It's a real good thing. But you were committing a misdemeanor by walking on their constitutional carrying. Or I like to kayak and bring my gun. Well, I was committing a misdemeanor, and I found out the hard way. Well, not the hard way. I had game wardens told me I could do it, but the law said different. And we brought that up to the legislator and showed them and we fixed it. So
that's the one places where you can open carry in Florida is hunting, fishing, or camping.
Yeah.
Yep. And
what about urban camping if you're homeless?
That's the thing is I'm sure you've seen it, but our buddy, and I don't know if he's still here, Mr. Flying Rich Firearms, but he is partnered with the GOA in a lawsuit against the state of Florida.
I saw that. Yep. I was aware.
Yep. So hopefully that gets passed.
I can't see any of the chats, so I see the one that comes up. I guess you're selecting it. So
yeah, when you're on a phone, if you go in the menu, you could see the chat, but you'll lose me and you. It'll put it in front of us.
I guess I can look at it on my phone.
So yeah.
I pulled it up to see what people want to ask or answer or what they want to talk about. And I really apologize for being late. I had planned on being here in time, but I got miscommunicated with the time. I thought it was 9:30, here. And that's one reason I like to use the UTC time. We can operate across the country on the same time zone and not get lost.
I talked about that on one of my streams. I'm like, we need one universal time.
Yeah, we have that. It's called Zulu.
Zulu?
Yep. It's based on what time is it in Greenwich Village, England right now.
So I got my two Baofengs, and then I have a Mesh-tastic, and that's where I'm at with communications.
And are you using your phone with Mesh-tastic?
Yes, until I get the newer one where I don't have to. That's the goal.
Yeah, they've got that one with a Raspberry Pi inside and everything, and you can read it and send messages from it. That's the way to go. That way you can multitask if your phone doesn't work or you break your phone or charge goes out. So
100%. And you know what? I guess the ones that I use with the phone, I could use them as like beacons and put them somewhere because from my understanding with Mesh is you can build like a daisy chain of them.
Yes, you can. Yeah. So and get your buddies to put one up, try to put one up in the city park. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing with my city. Well, I got to get involved with my city council a year ago or less about being able to use the park for public use with putting ham radio antennas in the trees. And it was against city ordinance. And I read that in the city ordinance. And the first administration a couple years ago refused to amend the city ordinance. And the administration that's in there right now, they were all right with it. And so they changed the ordinance where if you're doing ham radio, you can put electrical lines or any lines in the trees. And I got to know my mayor, and I just met the city manager. And the mayor was very interested in radio, and he may have his GMRS license by now. I think he's trying to get his ham license. And he inherited, when he became mayor, he inherited the old city repeater site. And he come to me to tell him what's it going to take to put this on GMRS. And you know what? He secured funding for it. So
Nice.
we're getting Chickasaw Communications out there in the next month or two when they do some work on the radio, on the water tower where the top of the antennas are. They're going to come out and do some work, and we're going to get that thing back up and running. And it's sitting there operational right now, just no one's using it. So we're going to have a $15,000 GMRS site and paid for by the city with battery backup and everything.
Nice.
So the VX6R is a solid choice for the handheld. It's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah. I need to grab a Yaesu.
YAESU. Yep. So yeah, it's a
What-
good
what-
one.
What do you think of the AR 152s?
It's really a Baofeng dressed up as a military radio.
Yep.
I think for what it does, it's kind of big and heavy.
It
It would
is.
be like, it looks military. It looks, tactical, but I'd rather have an Retrievus RA89. Has more power,
Retrievus.
more channels, longer talking, lighter weight.
Okay.
Just, I think, a better radio and easier to program, and it's waterproof. I don't know if that one's waterproof. I don't think it is.
This
So,
one should be.
Yeah. It's
The
all of your
regular
antennas, too.
Baofengs, these
Are not.
I hear are not at all. Like even
Yeah.
a light rain can destroy that thing.
Yeah, I've just about moved to all waterproof radios now because I go kayaking and I go out in the mist and the rain,
Smart.
and I have ruined a few radios, and I do have some cheap ones for stuff that I might want to ruin. I've actually dropped a radio off a 1,600-foot radio tower before.
No
And
way.
guess what? It worked. It still worked when
way.
we found it. Well, we got lucky because it landed in about 3 foot of grass.
Mhm.
So
I was gonna say
Um,
if it landed in concrete, it would be
yeah, it'd have been done.
yeah.
So yeah, I was up on top of the radio tower. I don't know. You saw some of the videos of me
I
on
did.
the tower.
I did. Dude, you're way
Pretty
up
high
there.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter
And I think
mile
one of
high.
them said there was a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, it's windy up there, so you want to be tied off. You don't want to get blown off a 1,600-foot tower. And I used to change light bulbs on them, work on repeaters on the TV towers. I worked with KFOR, and till they got bought out by another big company, I was a guy that go up and work on antennas and repeaters and stuff on the tower. So we were able to secure a VHF, UHF repeaters up there, and I put some of them up there. But when the big corporation took over, you had to be licensed and bonded and all this crap.
Nice.
Plus, you're really supposed to go up with a partner, and I'd go up by myself.
Did you have at least a harness or something that you were
Oh, yeah.
connecting?
Yeah, you got to have a harness. You have to, because for several reasons, and I almost got killed wearing a harness on one. Because when you let go of your hands and you're not touching anything, you need to lock on so you can work and move.
Mm-hmm.
And what if you trip? What if you something? Tie all your tools down with string and cable wires so that you don't drop your tools, which that's happened.
Absolutely.
So one of the towers I worked on had a man lift in the middle. It was electric and it'd pull you up. So I went to the 1,000-foot level, and I bought this new climbing harness, and I clipped off, and I was working on a repeater for about 20 minutes, and I wasn't used to wearing this harness. And I pushed the button to go up to the 1,400-foot level, and I did not unclip from the tower. So it pulled me out of it. It could have killed me. It pulled me out of the man lift, and
Damn, bro.
I found myself hanging upside down 1,000 feet in the middle of a radio tower, and I was watching that man lift go up. Bzzz, there it goes. I was like, motherfucker,
Stop
that's a
knocking.
500-foot climb. I'm going to climb a 500 feet. And when I got up there, all my tools were still in a box inside the man lift and everything. So I got back in there, and my radio was up there. I had no way to talk, and called the guys on the ground. They said, "What happened? We've been trying to get a hold of you." And I said,
Startled
"Oh,
a little
I'll tell
bit,
you-
huh?
I'll tell you when I get down." And so I went 100 feet down and worked on the repeater and was done. And the strange thing is, is it didn't affect me to climb again.
Nice.
And I also didn't have the, oh shit, I almost died feeling. I was very calm and collect about it. I was like, okay, I'm alive. What's next? And so I started climbing.
So I got some questions because I'm kind of a
Yeah.
newbie on radios. To use a repeater, do you have to have a license to engage with a repeater and use that? Because from what my understanding is, you need a call sign, and then once it hits this repeater, other people are going to kind of hear it. It's going to transmit through their public repeater, and is it it's preferred, right?
Yeah. All the services required that have repeaters require you to have a call sign. GMRS and ham radio and commercial, or what they call commercial or business,
Okay.
they are allowed to use repeaters. FRS is not. Like your first 7 channels on the 22 channel radios are FRS. Anyone
Yeah.
can use them without a license.
Gotcha.
But the other channels that are GMRS, you have to be licensed, and those are the ones that can work repeaters. So yes, if you're going to use a repeater, you need to have some type of license to obey with the law.
Gotcha. And
I see. Forgive my ignorance. Can I answer this, Fluffy Bunny?
absolutely. I was going to ask it.
Okay, so ham radio. Let me see. Where's my thing? I had something to show here real quick, and I don't know where I put it. So amateur radio gives you about 12 different bands or more that you can transmit on, from just above the AM broadcast band, which is medium wave, and below now, up
And
to
that's
1200
GMRS, right?
megahertz. No, I'm talking ham right now.
Okay.
So ham radio gives you the ability just above the AM broadcast band, and you get segments of the electromagnetic spectrum. You get slivers of it that you can operate on with your license. Some of these are shared with the military, and it's HF, high frequency, short wave. And then you move up to 30 megahertz and above, which is VHF low. You get portions of that. And then you move up to UHF. UHF and GMRS are basically very similar. They're just different frequencies. So
Okay.
GMRS is only UHF, 462.5 to 462.725, plus
Small.
5 megahertz up. You have 467.55 to 467.725. Well, that's
Okay.
your repeater inputs. So you have all repeaters on UHF work a 5 megahertz split. So you transmit, and I'm going to put it in simple terms, because if you want to learn, you can go look some of this stuff up. I wrote down some of my favorite YouTubers for ham radio for you to look at here, and
Absolutely.
you can look at that and see. I'll put it up here in a little bit.
Cool.
Go there and learn. But imagine you took a CB radio and another CB radio, and you wired from the speaker jack into the microphone. And this one's on channel 1 and this one's on channel 40. So when a signal comes in to channel 1, and the electrical energy from the speaker goes to the microphone, let's just imagine everything works perfectly. There's a little box that converts speaker voltage to microphone voltage. Well, channel 40 is going to repeat your transmitted signal on channel 1 on channel 40. And that's how a repeater works. So generally, you have to have 2 antennas. They have a thing called a duplexer, which allows you to work on 1 antenna. And that's how most repeater stations are set up. But you can buy these little repeaters to turn Baofengs into repeaters. Takes 2 radios with separation between the radios and a little controller. So you got signal A coming in on one frequency. It will instantly go to the other radio and transmit out on the frequency that you selected.
Nice.
And you set these things up on high locations where they have a commanding view of the terrain, the topography. And you can talk radio to radio over 10 or 15 miles using those little radios.
Is that using a line of sight signal? And that's why you go high?
It is always going to be line of sight on VHF and UHF. Yeah. So the higher you go, the better you're going to be able to, the farther you're going to be able to cover.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
one thing that's sad, and I've noticed I've been a ham since 1992, is we're losing repeaters everywhere. Uh,
Really?
Commercial, like I told you about the KFOR TV tower, when I started working with them, I worked with KFOR, the local company. There are mega markets buying out these repeaters and towers. American Tower is one of them, buying all the towers, and then they take over all the maintenance and work on them and all that. And then they rent space off the tower they used to own. Well, when these companies come on, they kick everybody off that's not paying. And how it used to be is over the years from the 60s through the 90s, GMRS license is as easy as filling out the paperwork and sending in the $35. There is
That's what they told me while I was
no
waiting for you,
test.
man. I'm gonna get
There's
mine.
no test. They kick everyone off the towers where the broadcast engineers used to play around and put repeaters on the towers for their own fun. So the mega corporations are kicking us all off the towers. So it's becoming more difficult to rely on repeaters and work with them. We used to have 40 something repeaters in Oklahoma City in the 90s. Now we're down to about 6.
No way.
So yeah, I'm lucky. I've got a friend of mine that works at KFR still, and he's got a repeater up there, but don't tell anyone. It's a GMRS that's going to come back online.
Do you think that because we can kind of set up our own repeaters, that eventually those 6 maybe will get taken out over time and we'll just have our own underground system?
Maybe in time. It's hard to say because of the real estate value of these towers has become, they make so much money. Who can afford $1,500 a month? Not as hobbyists, not hams.
Yeah.
You know, companies do it that are making money. And there used to be a whole lot more repeaters up on the commercial side. I've got funny stories to tell about how we used to access them things in the day. During the daytime, the security companies were not using their repeaters because they're asleep. They work at night. So we would pirate them. During the nighttime, we would pirate wrecker companies and real estate people that were renting tower space. And so we were able to use commercial repeaters before we got licensed back then. Those companies are going away. No one's using the radios anymore. We have cell phones. Cell phones have basically killed a lot of the amateur radio stuff. You used to be able to make phone calls on your radios too, called auto patch, and that's kind of gone away as well. You know, we all have a phone.
Yeah.
So we're losing that redundancy.
Dang.
California passed laws to remove existing ham repeaters and towers. Yeah, I was aware of that, and they're fighting it grossly. So I was going to show you something. See, I've got some stuff over here to look at. Where is
Sure.
I had a little prop here to show you. Let me grab something over here.
Bro, I got tons of questions for you, Tim.
Okay. I'll show you something funny I made that's gun related. You remember those U.S. Army stripper clip boxes that would come with 30 rounds in them?
Yep.
I make my own.
So
Nice. And I use
nice.
Dr. Pepper boxes or whatever cardboard. I made a template. I made a template that fits this exactly, so I can carry these in my, in the packs or whatever.
Have you
Dr.
seen
Pepper's cool.
the mag loader as well, where you can load a regular standard AR-15 mag with a stripper clip?
Yeah, I've got those. Yeah.
Nice.
So what is this used for? Do we know what this does?
A sight pusher?
Yep, a sight pusher.
Mm-hmm.
So correct. You know what that is?
Oh yes, sir.
You know what this is?
A Geiger counter?
Nope. This is the equivalent of a sight pusher for ham radio. It's an antenna analyzer. And you use this to make your own antennas or tune antennas or test them and see what frequency they're working at. Resonant
Awesome.
antenna works best. So if your antenna is not tuned for the frequencies you're using, all your radio waves turn into heat in the coax and does not get radiated out. So if you're putting 5 watts into an antenna and it's got a high SWR. What's happening is these radio waves are bouncing back down the coax or the antenna, meeting another one like a wave, and they cancel each other out and they turn to heat in the coax. So you want to tune your antennas so they're efficient. So
Will that
this
also
is something-
fry out your
Yes, it turns into heat. Like I said, it turns into heat, and then when that output final in your radio starts to overheat, what kills electronics the most? Heat. And you'll burn that output final up, and your radio will die. So you want to be able to tune your antennas. And this is one of the things you'll want to get, one of the most basic items for tuning HF radios. This one will check your up to 600 megahertz. So it'll check your GMRS and your Baofengs. It'll cover all the frequencies of the radio antennas that you're using. I was going to set up this before I got on. I realized I'm running out of time, but what this is, it's a handheld Yagi antenna that you hold in your hand, and it's got elements coming off.
Yep.
You put it together, and you can aim it and directionally aim your 1 watt radio signal, and greatly increase your range, while everyone behind you and to the side, it nulls that signal. So if someone's looking for you, they have a harder chance of hearing you. It basically like a flashlight. You got your bulb and then the convex mirror. Well, it does that for radios. It throws all the radiation in one direction.
Very
and
cool.
Those are good. Just that you can't move through the forest or anything.
What are they called?
The radios,
if you're looking for one,
Arrow antenna. Arrow. AROW. Yeah, it uses actually metal arrow shafts for the elements. The guy that makes them. So it just comes in bags here. And I was going to set it up and show y'all.
You got time, man? I'll rock it out for hours.
Yep. I might set it up. Yeah, see, I get off at midnight. So and at 11 o'clock, I'm going to have to kind of ditch out for a few minutes and do my rounds.
So 11 o'clock your time, so we got about an hour?
Yeah. I got a clock back here. Yes, 10 o'clock my time. And I'll be gone for a little bit, then I'll come back, and then y'all can talk about things. And I'm going to show y'all just a few things here. You know what a QSL card is?
I don't.
So when you talk to somebody from far away, we used to exchange cards with each other. And here are some of the cards that I've collected.
Nice.
Is it backwards for you, or is it straight?
No, that's straight for me.
Good. So here's a Texas station, and where is this one at? Another Texas station. These are a lot of Texas stations here. Let me you trade cards with the places that you make contact with.
Nice.
So Tennessee. I need to find some of my more exotic ones in here.
When you normally mail them to each other?
Yeah, we used to mail them. That got expensive, so now we do it online. But these are some of the ones that I've been able to collect here that are in paper. Some of them are really nice too.
Yeah, Tim has been on the shore in Florida, reaching people on the other side of the country.
Yeah, that's on my channel. Modesto, California, Colorado. I got the cards. All these places are places I've talked to on the radio from here or local to here. And yeah, here's one. So they were on 1 watt. They were running 1 watt of power from Renton, Washington to me using 1 watt of power. And that's on the HF bands on 10 meters. So this one is cool. For some reason, the ink has kind of bled on it. Where is that?
Hold on. Let me make you big so I can see. Japan. Woo!
Yeah. And I've got some others. I've got from other places. I just got to find them. Like, I don't know. I guess thing got wet here.
That's all right. Where's that from?
Sent it from Japan.
Nice.
and he sent a little letter. He spoke English, I guess. But I've
Nice.
got them from all over, and that's on HF. And what I've been getting into lately is the NVIS type of radio communication, where I can talk regionally, more tactically within my state, within my local states, and those are down on HF land or lower bands like 80 meters, 40 meters. Those are the frequencies that we need to be on as prepared people. 20
Which
meters and all that
bands?
is great, huh?
Which bands? I'm gonna write them down.
80, 60, and 40
Okay.
are good bands to be on for preparedness and local communication. They don't talk from here to New York so easy. They
Okay.
will do it, but it's more of a regional contact. And Yagi is a good antenna for FM radio if you're in the boonies. And that's what this thing right here is a Yagi, a dual band Yagi that I can put together
Nice.
and take with me. The reason those are some low frequencies, they refract at night. Have you
Okay.
ever listened to AM radio at nighttime versus the daytime?
Yes.
There are stations that you can pick up at night that you can't hear during the day.
Yep.
So that's what 80 meters does, and 60 and 40. Now 40 works well during the day for regional contacts. And the
Okay.
higher in frequency you go, the radio signals interact with the ionosphere differently. During the day, your 20-meter band will be bringing in worldwide communication. The lower you go, it kind of dies out during the day, but at nighttime, those low bands come alive. And so you want to have all of those in your toolbox, be able to, depending on what you want to do. If you want to run a local communications network within your state, you're going to want to be on 80 meters, 40 meters, and 60.
Okay. And that's meters.
The meter band, which
Meter band.
converts to frequency.
Okay.
Yep. 300 divided by frequency gives you the megahertz. So,
Okay.
or frequency in megahertz divided by 300 gives you the meter band. So,
Very
30
cool.
meters is 10 megahertz. 30 megahertz is 10 meters. 3 meters is 100 megahertz. 1,000, 1 megahertz is the 300 meter band. It's all
Okay.
based on that 300. Frequency in megahertz divided by 300 gives you the meter band.
Excellent.
So that's some ham radio math. And you can use math to determine how long you want to make your antennas too. 468 is a number. If you want to be able to take a wire and tune it for, let's say, quarter wave antenna, you take the frequency in megahertz divided by 468, and then you cut a wire that long, and that's a quarter wave. 236, 234 is for a half wave, half of that. And half waves are real good. Most of mine are half wave antennas. Frequency in megahertz divided by 238 will give you how long you need to make your dipole wire. And then you cut that in half, you run your coax up to it, and you solder the inner braid to the outer braid to the other one. Hang that up in a tree and let them droop a little bit or be flat. A flat top's great. You do that. That's about a
Nice.
33-foot antenna on elements on 40 meters. You'll be able to talk all over the region with that. 132 feet gets you about 80 meters.
Okay.
And you can set those up in a tree and talk all over the region. Now, this stuff is different than, and I got this guy's book to read it. I actually got this. Oh, here's what I was looking for. I actually got this book to see how
Hey, I
accurate he
got that
was.
one. Yep.
Yep. And
I was going to
he's
ask you
good.
what you thought.
Yeah, he's on with it. He covers a lot more stuff than just the radios. So it's more
Yeah.
of the operational of the radio in
Yeah.
a militia type environment. But he has a lot of good information, and I've read this whole book, and it's a good book. He knows what he's talking about.
Good,
So
good. I have that one. I've been digging my way through it, and yeah, a lot of it
yeah,
is like how and when to use your radio, on top of
yeah. Now
what you're
his is going to
using.
be a little different than the HF shortwave stuff than that.
Okay.
The type of operation. He's mainly talking about patrol type
Yeah.
Baofeng. You're walking around with a gun and you're in some type of combat patrol scenario
Yep.
where my communication would be a little different. You're going to be in the back. You're not the antennas you set up are not easily moved. Well, they are. They just go in a tree, but you're
Yeah.
not going to just take fire and run. You're going to have
Yep.
to leave stuff behind. But what these radios I use are good for is, let's say we want to see what's going on in Missouri from Oklahoma, and we want to talk from Oklahoma to Tulsa, Oklahoma City to Tulsa, and tell them guys, hey, we got some problems down here. Well, you're going to have to set up in a yard or a park or somewhere like that to utilize your HF radios. And it's just the nature of things. You're going to have bigger, longer antennas to talk like that. Um, and the military uses this type of communication too. And you can actually use them on vehicles and drive around and use HF to take the
Okay.
place of repeaters. You can talk 25, 30, 40, 50 miles if you have the right frequency.
Drew in
The
Oregon,
time
bro.
of
I
day.
appreciate you, brother. Really appreciate you, man. I got your message. Thank you, sir. You are the
Yep.
freaking man. Um,
And I'll tell you, there's guns, learning about guns versus radios.
yeah.
You can get very basic with radios and operate them, but there's a lot more to it than guns. Learning
Yeah,
guns,
they're
there
complicated radios.
is,
You have to
they
learn a
can
whole new
be.
language. Whole new language, mathematics.
Yeah.
Um,
This is the
just,
thing I was going to show you,
yep.
um, where you can talk on
Let
HF.
let me put you on the main full screen. Let's see. How do I
Okay.
do that?
But your radios are a lifesaver. They are so these are some of the bands you're allowed to talk on. So here you see 80 meters down here. Those are the frequencies that you can use on 80 meters to talk within your state. Okay, so they don't have 60 meters, but 60 meters is a channelized portion between these two. 40 meters will talk locally during the day, and at nighttime it goes long. And all these others, they go long during the day, and the higher ones will sometimes disappear at night. So 10 meters is really close to CB. CB is 26.9 megahertz to 27.405 is CB channel 40, and you see that's 28, and that's 24 megahertz. So it's right in the middle of 10 meter and 11 meters, your CB band. Imagine going up to 460 megahertz. That's 50 megahertz. If we just keep on going, that's GMRS. So have you ever wondered, like if you had a standard CB radio or anything and you got to channel 40 and you wondered, is there a channel 41? What's in channel 41? What's below channel 1? Well, I was always like that. I always wanted to know what is beyond and what can these radios do better. So when I was a kid, we had a TV that you could turn a knob and tune the channel. And I would run into people talking on phones. And that kind of got me started into radios. And I
sick.
I listened to shortwave when I was a kid. And my
Yep.
dad had a shortwave radio, and I was just tuning around. And here I am listening to China and London and Radio Russia, Radio Moscow, Radio Cuba.
Yep.
And as the night went on, the signal would move to the east on these
Yeah.
shortwave stations, and I would listen. And by 4 in the morning, I'm listening to Radio Hong Kong. And
Wow.
that got me started into radios when I was a young kid. And then
That's awesome, man.
we played with CBs when we were young, and I joined the Navy. And while I was in Norfolk, I bought a new car. My buddy bought a new car. So we wanted to be able to keep in touch when we were driving around Norfolk. So this is in 1988. And we went to Radio Shack to buy some CB radios. And the guy switched us to VHF FM marine radios. He said, hey, these will talk farther. 900 megahertz. I used to have some 900 megahertz radios. They're what law enforcement use now, but they're trunked. So we put these marine radios. Now tell me when you figure out when it's bad. Okay. We're in Norfolk, Virginia. We're putting VHFM marine radios in our cars to talk to each other. We're driving around. We don't know anything about the channels. So we're just on whatever channel we want to be on. And we're talking openly, telling where we're going, what we're doing.
Oof.
And then we talk about where we live at. And they, we went to our ships. And same thing happened to Joey. I got called to the quarterdeck. And there was the Coast Guard with the master at arms from the Navy base. And they wanted to talk to me. They did the same thing with Joey. They sat me down and interviewed me and asked me why I was using those radios in a maritime space. You have to be 150 miles from a waterway to use them. Well, I told them we went to Radio Shack and we wanted CBs, and they sold us these. So we put them in, and they took our story, wrote it down, and said, all right, we'll be in touch with you. And I guess they went to Radio Shack, collaborated our story, and they got a hold of us and came back and told me and Joey, he was on his ship, go to Radio Shack. They've got radios waiting for you. Give them yours, and we got CBs. So they sold us maritime VHF radios in Norfolk, Virginia, where the largest Navy and maritime is on the East Coast. And here we are going around just talking. And we were breaking the law and interfering and all that. And we didn't know any better. So we got CDs.
Radio Shack sold them.
They did. Yep. So we were absolved of anything. And I guess Radio Shack got their butts chewed.
Where were they made? Do you think they were made in China?
No, this was probably before that stuff. It was a realistic, I guess realistic or something, just maritime radio. So then we got our CBs and we put them in. And me and Joey started driving around talking. Well, they sucked. And yet they were right. It sucked compared to VHF FM on 160 megahertz. But we met up with some people on CBs that were all sailors or Navy or whatever, and they'd meet at this place on the weekends, and we'd go hang out. Well, one guy had a cool radio in his car, and it had a digital display. It had neat stuff. And that's moon bounce, what we're talking about. Last week when we talked about moon bounce, and you asked if I've seen it done, he's talking about moon bounce right there. You bounce your signal off the moon, and then it echoes back. Well, I met a guy that had a ham radio in his car, and he was showing it to me. It was an HR 2510, and wow, Montana never sounded so clear and loud as it did in Norfolk, Virginia. And I said, I got to have one of them, and I bought one. And then I learned about radios. You just got to get into it and learn. And then on the ship, I got to learn about. You want to know how I made money off of shortwave radio?
Definitely.
So we're out at sea. We are out at sea, and the radio room would post on the bulletin board down in the chow hall of games that were won, winning basketball games, football games, who won, whatever. Except they come in 6 to 12, 15 hours later than the games were won. Well, my bunkie was this guy from Staten Island, Pedro. He was Puerto Rican, and he was into the sports, man. That's all he talked about.
Sports betting. Sports betting.
Yep, there was sports betting going on. So I'm not into it. I didn't pay much, and I hear them talking about a game. They're betting on who's going to win this game. Cubs versus Mets or whatever, and they're up there getting all about it. So I would go up and sunbathe and bring my radio with me and listen to AFRTS and VOA, Armed Forces Radio Television Service, and Voice of America on shortwave.
Yep.
So here I am top of the hour comes on and it's sports and news and all that. Guess what? I know who won that game. I was
Yeah.
like, they're down there betting on that
You
game.
still
They're
taking
not
bets?
gonna. They post it when the Radio Shack on the boat posts the news and stats and scores.
Yep.
It's 12 hours. It's 6 or 8 hours. They do it in a batch.
Nice.
So I approached Pedro and I said, "Hey Pedro, you know that Mets versus I don't know whoever Orioles
Yeah.
or whoever." I told him who won.
Put the house on it.
And he's like, what? And then when it come out, he come to me and said, "How did you know that?" And I said, "Well, you know that radio that I take up top and listen to, it's got shortwave, and I'm listening to America directly. I hear these sports scores within 30 minutes of every half hour when the news." And he was like, oh shit. So
What year was that? What year was that?
1988, 1989.
Yeah.
87, something
It's
like
hard
that.
now because we have
Yeah.
like TV and everything.
Not on ships. Not on ships.
Oh yeah, on a ship.
Out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of the ocean. There's no even if they had cell phones, you're not getting it. So
is that the days of Loran?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had our GPS, but it was just coming on, and the military really controlled it tightly, and the equipment for it was real expensive. We had it on our ship.
Gotcha.
So when I came off that cruise, I bought a 1989 Mustang, cash.
Nice.
Yeah, because me and Pedro split it.
Oh
and
man, I wonder if they were ever like, how come these dudes are always right?
Well, he'd throw some games. He would throw some games.
Smart
He
man.
would write me a list. He would write me a list of 2 teams and write down the score. Just do that.
Nice.
So you know what's cool though too? I was off the coast of France and we were floating through the med there, all that.
Yep.
Listening to American music with French words, because I was tuning into their FM radio stations off the coast.
Yep.
And hearing that song "Like a Virgin," touched for the very first in French. You know, it was American words and it sounded like the singers, but it was in French, and that was trippy to listen to that.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I'm sure that they're always stealing. Everybody's always stealing stuff from America or our culture and everything.
Well, they I'm sure with license and everything, they just put it in their language. So for the French people, how far does local cover? Sorry, I'm radio literate. Depends on what you call local. HF
so like I think he was
worldwide.
thinking that 80, 60, 40 meter band that we were talking about.
It'll cover farther, but 0 to 3 to 500 miles is what it does best. So you have that 0 to 500 miles, and it's called NVIS, and they call the antennas cloud warmers because you're shooting your RF straight up, basically straight up, and it gets bounced back down. So you know the angle of attack works just like on a pool cube, on a pool table. It comes back down at the angle that you send it up at. So if you're sending your signal at a low angle towards the horizon, it's going to skip off and land in Europe.
Far.
But if it comes straight up at a 2-degree angle, my signal from Oklahoma City might land in 60 miles from me.
When you shoot
out.
Okay. Is there the way that you measure it, is it in like a curved space for this thing, or is there a coordinate system?
There's called Maidenhead and there's called the grid system. Hams use grids, but
so there's a grid that you go by for bouncing, basically.
No.
Okay.
It's
how do you
kinda.
It's like fishing. You're just kind of guessing.
Yeah, there are ways to figure it out. You kind of know the time of day, your distance. There are propagation calculators. You can type this stuff in, and it will use the solar information from the solar sun, the K index, the other indexes that tell you how charged the ionosphere in your area is, or the world. And you pick 2 locations you want to talk and what frequency, and it'll give you a probability. Or it'll tell you the best frequency you might make it on. That frequency probably is not within your ham bands, but it's close. So you can probably make it work. So,
Gotcha. Have you ever heard of Guillermo Marconi?
Yeah, Giglio Marconi, the guy that basically invented. He's not really the first, but he is one of the first. He's the one to commercialize it and make it popular, and he's the
Yeah.
one that set up the station in Newfoundland and in England, and they were able to get some message across in Morse code. Yeah,
Yeah.
Giglio Marconi. Yeah, there's events to him. Have you ever heard of Hiram Maxim?
Hiram, I know Hiram Abiff, but that's because I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
You know what a Maxim is?
The old Nissans.
Think World War One.
That's a Maxima. Okay, Hiram Maxim. Is
Maxim.
German?
M-A-X-I-M.
German?
No, he's American.
Okay, no, I haven't heard of him. Let me Google him
So
real quick.
Hiram Maxim, M-A-X-I-M, and see what he's famous for. Now, I'll tell you on the radio side, he's founded the ARRL, and his dad is famous also. But Hiram,
First automatic machine gun.
yep, he also was deep into radios. Hiram Maxim, now his
gun.
dad. And what else did Mr. Maxim invent?
Claimed to invent the light bulb.
No. If he did, that's something else. But he invented the suppressor. He put mufflers on guns. Yep. He's
I wonder
the
if
one who invented
that
gun
has anything
mufflers.
to do with Maxim Defense.
Maybe, or maybe they're using his name.
Yeah, they might be using his
So,
name. Maxim Defense is good company.
Yep. These men are long gone. So his dad invented a machine gun that were worked in World War II, and I think the Boer War was the first war they used it in. Yeah, the Maxim machine gun. So he was a big radio guy. He invented a lot of stuff for nationalizing radio and getting the government to let us use the frequencies. And he started the ARRL, and they call him the old man. He's like the grandfather of amateur radio, believe it or not. The guy that was into silencers, suppressors, and machine guns, and
Was
other
also
things
into-
too.
So I'm guessing
big
you
in-
got it. You can connect with him a little bit.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I mean, he made money from his dad's fortune from inventing the first Maxim machine gun. Then he improved his. So yeah, that guy's cool. Maxim,
Good.
Hiram Maxim.
Hiram
So,
Maxim.
Yeah, he was a big guy. There's
I'm a fan of him.
Yep. His call sign was W1AW, and there's a tribute station, a whole building in Connecticut, the ARRL, which is like the NRA or GOA of ham radio. They have a building with a station in it, and it's W1AW, his old call sign.
Nice.
So you can go up there and
Very
operate
cool.
it if you have a license. Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice. I mean, this building's been there since the 20s, and they've refurbished it a few times. It's got an antenna farm. It's cool. So
I
let me
wish I was
see
born
what else.
earlier in the early days.
You could do you had to think outside the box and do things differently.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have a little radio to talk to your buddies while you're driving around, one way that we used to do it was Meridian Mail. So there was an 800 number you could call called Meridian Mail. It would
Okay.
come up and enter your password. So there's people that mess around and it's a 4-digit password. You hit that 4-digit password and it says your mailbox is empty, full, unset up. So you write down
Really?
that number, 800 Meridian Mail. You get that 800 number, and it was so easy to hack because it was 4
It's like
numbers.
leaving a voicemail before.
Voicemail. Yeah.
And
So
that
we
was
would use
the only way.
before any cell phones or pagers or anything. Well, I guess there were pagers. There were pagers. But
How long have pagers
not
been out?
since the 70s. They use POC and
Really?
GOLA as the language. Yeah. So how pagers would work is we used to hack them and listen to them and read their script.
Yep.
You could do it. POC and GOLA is the language. When you put your number in, it gets about 10 or 15 numbers batched up, and then it transmits. And it sends all those messages at once when you're reading it on your screen. You'll get yours, and your pager will go off, and you'll read the number. So, but it got to where where almost every damn message was 911 or something like that because they need their weed or whatever, and they're using code. You see a lot of strange numbers come in on pagers. It's just code. They got codes
Yeah.
for this and that.
Yeah,
And
I remember my brother had one when I was young. He was about 5 years older than me, and I remember him. They
Yeah.
Virginia Roots, and they always drop. I forget what 231 is, but I know they're dropping 231 in the chat all the time.
oh yeah, they got their own like a
831.
420,
Yeah,
420 and all that. Yeah.
and then 143 was always "I love you," and
Okay.
because it's one letter I love you,
Yeah.
and
Yep. Stuff like that.
pager
So
code 143.
I'm about to. I got a
Yeah,
table of goodies right
I
here.
remember some pager codes. Just
Damn, I can't
listening to
aim a very good
my
camera.
brother. My brother was like, "Oh, this is the code I got," and then we'd all sit in the car and be like, "I wonder what this one means." And some of them,
This
it was
right
kind
here.
of like text.
Yeah. This right here in this
Nice.
watertight bag is a complete HF radio setup.
Awesome.
So I can take it kayaking. It's a 20-watt HF radio with antenna, battery, stuff to hang it in a tree or a vertical or whatever. And this I can talk anywhere in the country. And right here is a 100-watt version of it. If I can pick it up. I keep them in bags like go kits.
Yep, you should.
And right here I have listed on the top what's in it. You can, it's hard to steer this thing.
Here, let me.
It tells you what's in it.
put
It's
you
got an
on.
Alenco DX70, the tuner, the batteries, what type of antenna, 2 antennas in this one, guy lines and stakes, and an external speaker. This is you can set this up anywhere, and these 2 radios here will talk to each other across the country, across the state. Here's
Very cool.
what I recommend nowadays instead of a Baofeng is this
Yep.
radio. It's about
Is
30
that-
bucks.
is-
That's the TID Radio H3. Battery lasts a hell of a lot longer, 200 channels. Easy to program from the keypad, unlike the Baofeng, which is not easy to do. This one's so much easier. USB charging.
Nice.
You can program it through Bluetooth off your phone.
How much
It's
do
only
those
like
run?
30 bucks. About
30?
30 something bucks, yeah.
No
I got
way.
2 of them with 2 extra batteries for $70.
And that's
off
waterproof
of
as well?
Amazon. This one is not.
Okay.
I have some waterproof radios. If you want waterproof, I suggest the Retivus R89,
Retivus
Romeo
R89.
Alpha 89. That's waterproof, and it's about like this one, but a little larger. I just got these because they were on a Black Friday sale. So I got them cheaper than what I'm telling you they cost because it was Black Friday.
Yep.
Here's an antenna. This is an off-center fed antenna dipole. You hang that in a tree, and using this coax with it, you'll be able to talk from here to San Antonio, wherever. Now, how do you hang an antenna in a tree, you ask? So
Yeah,
I'm going to
'cause
show you
don't
this.
you want to get it pointing up as like at the top, still going up like you would be putting a star on a Christmas tree or something almost?
Yeah, I'll show you how I do it. The old slingshot
Nice.
with a fishing reel on it.
Okay.
So
Hold on. Let
you
me
got
make
this.
it big.
Okay. Well, I wish I had someone to run the camera. So you string a little bit of this out, get it between your fingers, and you shoot it up in the tree with this weight on the end of it. And then see, I got the quick disconnect. So when I get when I get it and it falls down to the ground, I unhook the bolt and I hook a better piece of string to it, or actually cordage, and pull that up and over. Use spider wire. If you're going to do this, use spider wire for your
Okay.
string on your slingshot. It's slicker. It has less friction coming through the trees.
So wait, you're taking
Stronger.
that? Are you? You're shooting it up there?
Yeah, I'm shooting it over the tree.
Gotcha.
Some of the pictures I gave you, it shows a wire heading up to a tree.
Yep.
If you saw those, well, that's how I got them up there with a slingshot.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. These radios here, if I can get them in there,
Yep, I see them.
they're what they call full duplex, and they'll work with that antenna that I had in a bag and talk through satellites. I can talk
Very
across
cool.
the country with those radios using amateur radio satellites.
Very, very
So
cool.
you can do satellites, you can send email, you can send text messages with what they call WinLink on your ham radios.
Okay, I've seen a little bit of it, like doing my own
Yep.
research. Let me ask you a question.
Doing-
How hard is it
yep.
to,
Gateways.
if you do have a mesh tastic and you have a device that you don't need to use a cell phone, how hard is it to hack into a mesh? The way that you were describing getting into text pagers and things like that, is it more encrypted or not really? Is it pretty secure, or what do you think?
That I'm going to have to say I don't know. I've never asked anyone or tried to hack into something else. There's no networks of Mestastic out here where I live. Never had the opportunity to try. So there's a dark side to ham radio too. You know, we used to use our radios to talk over McDonald's speakers at the McDonald's when you're at the drive-thrus.
Yep.
We used to say stuff to the people that were coming through. Did you know McDonald's has an alcohol license now? We got our liquor license. Would you like a daiquiri with that kitty meal?
I'm not surprised. While through the drive-through while you're driving.
Well, yeah, you stand off and do it. You don't do it yourself. So I'm gonna, if you want to make it big, I'll show a list of some YouTube channels here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it up here, and later on you guys can freeze it and get these. Hell, that's bleeding through, isn't it?
That's all right. Just move it over to your, yep, there you go. Comms channel, the Tech Prepper, Ham Radio Crash Course, Ham Radio Tube, KS6 Day, Ham Radio 2.0, Noda Rubicon. Oh yeah, not a Rubicon Productions.
Not a Rubicon, if you ever heard
That's
of
the
him.
one Risky Krisky always talks about. That's a great channel. I've
Yeah.
been following him a long time.
That dude's cool.
Tech Minds, KB9 VBR antennas, Ham Radio Concepts, OH8 STN, Off Grid, Ham Radio OH8 STN.
Yeah, it's two channels, but it's the same guy.
Gotcha. Coffee 9 ham radios, the thermal
Coffee
element.
and ham radios. Coffee and ham radios.
Gotcha. Coffee and ham radios.
Yep.
The thermal, the
Temporarily
terminal.
Temporarily offline ham radio.
The temporarily offline ham radio element. Oh, that's the one underneath it. The terminal element, temporary offline ham radio, Thomas K4SWL, HOA ham, coastal waves and MREs, and the smoke and vape.
That's
Smoking
wires. Coastal waves and wires. And the smoking ape. And let's turn this over.
Dang, let's go.
Ham
ham radio
radio
for
non-techies.
non-techies. That's going to be a big one for a lot of us. Ham radio for non-techies, Radio Prepper, and Commodium.
Yeah, and that's a good start. There's more. So these are some YouTube channels you can go and spend a lot of hours learning some of the stuff you might ask me. Yes, Meshtastic is on 900 megahertz band for one, but they're on 440 if you're in the UK.
Gotcha. So you haven't tried to hack them, but do you think they're hackable?
I think anything's hackable.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I
Yeah,
accept that.
I think you can. So have you ever heard of a damn, what is this thing called? Flipper Zero?
Yes, Flipper Zero is the one thing that I've been. When I started talking to my buddy who's local to me about mesh, he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna try to use a Flipper Zero and see if we can get into it."
Yeah, try to get that before they ban them.
Yeah, get
They're
yourself a
probably
Flipper
there's
Zero.
been some talk about banning them. They don't like stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
and you know what's going to get it banned? Stuff like these kids at some school. I read about a kid using one at school, and he was using it to mess with people's cars and messing with some stuff in the school. You know,
Uh-huh.
bringing attention to it, and just like um, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, they banned machine guns because of what some idiots do.
Yep.
9 out of 10 people don't do anything wrong, and it's just those few that do that get our stuff banned, right? What brings attention to our AR-15s? Trans
Yeah.
shooters in schools, right?
Yep.
It's not
Yep.
us. So
Mass crazy people that are morons.
yeah, mental health.
But one of the things that I always say, I forget where I heard it, but you can't make laws for stupid people. You make laws for logical, normal people to follow. You cannot
Yeah,
pass laws because there's this couple stupid people and now everyone has to. Now, obviously, we all know the old saying, one person can ruin it for everybody, but not when it comes to laws and just controlling an entire civilization, because then there's things that come in like, nice, that's awesome.
yeah. I'll kind of
It,
assemble it here on.
so also the main theory of that is like false flags could be a thing. Someone could be paid as an activist to go do something. We've seen people
Yeah,
put on vests and blow themselves up in this world.
yeah.
So who's to say
They do
you can't
that.
pay someone to go do something stupid and now everyone's got to follow a different law because one corrupt activist decided to get paid and go do something to try to take away everyone's rights? It's ridiculous.
Now I've
Anyways,
numbered
yes.
each element. The elements go in a certain way, but
Okay.
I've numbered them. I've numbered them so I know which
Nice.
one goes where.
Very smart. So
And this is
you're building a whole like a tree, and then
well,
that
it's a
you're
Yagi
able to hand
antenna.
is that whole thing handheld, or you can also mount that
Yeah,
somewhere?
you can mount it, but
Nice.
it's handheld. Here's the hand. Yeah, yeah. It can be. Actually, shoot, I'm not paying attention. This one goes in hole number one, not hole number two. So I have talked 50 miles radio to radio with this antenna to another another handheld. 50 miles hilltop to hilltop. And that's one thing I'm going to tell you too. When you're messing with your handhelds, try to get as high as you can. If you're going for distance, you're going to want to get as high as you can on a hill or on a building, or pull your antenna up in a tree. I've got some antennas that I can put in my pocket, and they're like flexible for my handhelds, and I can pull them up in a tree. So now these are the VHF elements.
Nice.
VHF is a longer wavelength than UHF, so they're longer.
Why do I not have screen share anymore on the bottom? What did I do here?
So that's a VHF directional Yagi antenna that you can use with your Baofeng. And
Nice.
these are the UHF elements. So I've got them numbered, but it does take a minute to throw it all together. And this is what they call a cross polarized dual band antenna, and it's made for working satellites is really what it's for. So this is why I've
So,
got them numbered like I do.
Let me ask you a question, Tim. Obviously, if you had a mutual assistance group, you would love to have a gentleman like you in it. So that way you have extreme amounts of capability for communications around the world. But for like a basic group of guys, what should be their first step in setting up emergency communications within their group?
I'd say seek out people that have knowledge of this stuff, like a ham radio club. Use your
Yep.
gear. You would be surprised in 2020 when we had our groups of people going out in the city streets and being patriotic, protecting stuff, our people. I talked to them about radios and they didn't know nothing about it. And
Yeah.
so many people put these radios back for when they need them. If you don't know how to operate it before you need it, you're behind the curve. You need to get out there
Absolutely.
and operate your radios every day or every week, some point, and be familiar with them and learn how to use them. It's much more critical than even with guns.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
don't use this stuff, you'll lose it. It's fairly technical, some of it is, and the more you learn, the more effective you are at using it. These guys had Baofengs on their plate carriers and didn't even know what frequency they were on. They didn't know how to program them. They didn't know how to tell me what frequency they were on. So if we wanted to talk, they didn't know how to do it. They did
Yep.
not know how to program their radio or even tell me what frequency they are on so we can talk.
Yeah, no,
So,
you got to iron this stuff out, y'all. I
yep,
always try to preach, man. Your guns are just one tool in the toolbox
yeah,
of survival. They
yeah.
really are, and it goes even deeper than radios. It goes into bushcrafting. It goes into being able to repair things with hand tools and a lot
Yep.
of different skills, man. We all have to be MacGyvers, modern MacGyvers, and we have the capabilities with being able to learn over the internet, being able to communicate with each other. Shout out to Tim Harper for joining us. This has been awesome, man. And
Have
yeah,
you
so
ever?
Ham Radio Club, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually talking about that. I started a ham radio club in Oklahoma, the Mid-Dell Amateur Radio Club.
Nice.
Mid-Dell Amateur Radio. It's been going strong for 10 years now. We got repeaters up. 2 repeaters. Our second one is about to go back online. And, because of that, we've got 60 people in the club. And me and a friend started it. And now we're up to 60 people and repeaters. And we do things. We hold field day. Have you ever heard of Amateur Radio Field Day?
No, it's like an event?
Yeah, it's nationwide, and all the ham radio operators in your area or clubs will get together the last weekend in June, which is when they hold the machine gun shoot in Oklahoma. Damn it. Um, Go to your local radio clubs and find out when where they're going to be at, and then for 24 hours they're going to operate radios and see how many contacts they can make.
So let me ask you another question. If I was to take
Find 'em.
my Baofeng here, and would I be able to reach you in Oklahoma from the East Coast with just this, or no? That's
If you
awesome,
use
dude.
not standalone, your
Okay.
typical range of a handheld like that is 3.5 miles. If you use a repeater that's not internet linked, it depends on how tall the repeater is.
Okay.
But no, that's why we're talking beyond the Baofeng.
All
We're
right.
talking the HF radios. Now, there
Yes.
are some repeaters that are internet linked on ham radio that you
Okay.
can. There are things that you can set up in your house, all star links, all star nodes that you could use, but they require the internet. So
Okay.
you're
Gotcha.
linking that radio to an internet, voice over IP, and it'll come out in my city. But
And so if we're speaking locally within a group in an emergency situation, and you wanted to keep your stuff encrypted as possible and have the highest level of security possible, how do you recommend people go about it? Just using standard encryption? Obviously, you want to speak in code in general, no
yeah,
matter what. But what would be the best form of keeping your frequency encrypted and your messages encrypted?
Get a business band license,
Okay.
business radio, because business is allowed to use the 256 encryption. Their
256
radios can do it. You
encryption.
see some of these newer radios come out. Like I think I've got one over here that does encryption. And if you have a business license, you're allowed to use encryption on business frequencies. It
Okay.
is illegal to use in ham radio, GMRS, FRS, CB, MERS, any of that. It's illegal to use your encryption. The only way
Really?
that you're allowed is with satellite uplinks with amateur radio. Amateur radio allows it for satellite uplinks for security of the satellite. So no one gets up there and hacks your satellite. And that makes sense.
Man. Mm. Isn't there levels of encryption within basic radios that they have encrypted features? And I'm sure they're not.
What they
That's
call
strong,
some
but-
encryption is called frequency inversion,
Okay.
and that's not very secure.
Yeah.
It really on a scanner you hear this his voice sounds real
Yeah,
loud.
yeah.
You can
Yep.
almost make it out, but you can't. What they're
Yes.
doing there is they are injecting
Scrambling.
like a 5. Yeah, they're just like scramble it, but what they're doing, they're injecting like a 5 kilohertz tone, and then what they're doing is they wipe out half the voice above that 5 kilohertz, and then remove the 5 kilohertz tone, and then invert the other side, and it comes out sounding all real weird. And then
Yeah.
on the other side, it turns everything back around. I built a frequency inversion scrambler from a kit 20 years ago to listen to my local sheriff's department because they were using it, and I could push a button and I could
Unscramble
listen
it.
to my local sheriff. Yeah, Pottawatomie County. They were very easy to unscramble. And then all you
Gotcha.
need is another one of them radios to unscramble it.
Okay, gotcha. So you're better off just speaking in code and not even worrying
Yeah,
about
like
that.
the code talkers, Navajo code talkers,
Yep,
something
yep.
like that. One-time pad. Yeah. I think the government has every radio out there that has encryption if they want to use it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So, and that's this antenna is great. What it does, like I said, it'll focus your radio signal. You can use less power to talk between 2 points, and it nullifies the signal to the side and behind you. Now, if you see this,
Yep.
this is the polarization of the antenna. Also, I'm
Okay.
going to give you a tip on running these handhelds.
Yep.
So you got this. Try to get this in here. So
The whip
you see
antenna.
how I got the antenna straight up and down
Yes, sir.
in my face? That's how you
Yep.
want to have it. If you're doing this, if you're turning that radio sideways and talking, you're losing a lot of radiated power. You want to
Gotcha.
keep your antennas the same direction as the guy you're talking to. So hold them straight up and down. Because
Gotcha.
when you turn it sideways, you go horizontal with your
Yeah, now you're
polarization.
even going behind you.
Yeah. And you can lose up to 20 decibels of power between the two stations. So when we're using these right here, when we're talking on satellites and we got it aimed at the sky, we're moving it around like that, trying to get the best signal, trying to find
Yep.
the polarization of the satellite. Now,
Okay.
some of them are tumbling. Some of them satellites are tumbling, so it don't matter. So, and you see, this is what they call cross polarization.
Yep.
You know,
Very cool. So the sides that are long,
that's
The-
VHF. Yep.
okay. Is that directionally, whichever way that you have those, is that funneling the signal in a certain pattern?
Yeah, away from my hand.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool,
So-
man.
You want to run vertical polarization with your handhelds. Miracle Babies antennas. If one's group were to use tiny Miracle Baby antennas with themselves, I disagree. Well, here's the thing, man. You can do anything if you don't get caught. I worked in jails and prisons, and I worked on death row. And one of the guys told me, hey, C.O. Harper, you can do anything once. anything once. So,
Yeah.
pretty much true. But you'll probably be fine. You'll be just fine with. Now, here it is. If you want to get in trouble with radios, go start interfering with broadcast, public
Yeah,
service,
yeah.
whatever. Be an interference. Be an asshole with your radio. You'll get someone's attention. If you don't, you won't. The FCC is not going to bother you if you're not bothering anyone. They have to have a complaint.
Gotcha.
If they don't get a complaint, hey man, they're moving on to the complaint.
So like if you have your license and everything and you teach me how to get in contact with you, but I don't have a license and we're on the other sides of the country, we're just communicating directly. No one's really going to say much.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get caught. You got to do something to bring attention.
Cool.
So I've heard lots of unlicensed stuff, in my area and on HF. Who cares? I mean,
Well,
as
maybe
long as you're not causing a problem.
with all those new IRS agents, hopefully they're not outsourcing them to the radio police.
Well, I'll tell you this. The FCC is the opposite of the ATF. They've never killed a dog. They have
Amen.
not.
Nice.
So they have worked with the people. They worked with the people that they have
Yeah.
had problems with. They might come take your stuff. You have a court hearing. They work with you, but people have been fined because they're jerks. So
Z asks a question here. Do they put giant loop antennas in the tracks at high schools? I'm not sure what he means by that.
what kind of loop antennas?
Not sure.
So when you tap your chip, you got your credit card and you tap it.
Yep.
You know what powers your chip?
No.
Big giant loops inside that reader have power going to them, and they create a magnetic field. That
Gotcha.
magnetic field is induced into your chip on your
Into your
card,
chip.
and that powers your chip for that moment. Yeah, that's how chip readers.
Can
power
you
your
use a
chip.
flipper zero on a card like that?
I don't know. I think
it
takes
just
a
tracks
special-
bands, doesn't it?
Now it's so low powered, you got to be right up on it. I mean, you got to be right on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
You'd have to be trying to read your own card, basically.
Gotcha.
So let me see. I had a few notes here. Or I don't know what else we can talk about. Okay.
Let's see. We got another
repeaters.
question. It says,
Okay.
how hard is it to climb this cell tower 1,000 yards from my house and install a repeater?
Fairly
That's a great
difficult.
question. Fairly
So you better have
difficult
you some. Yeah.
because you're going to get caught
need
climbing, right?
Yeah, you're trespassing there. You're going to need your climbing belt, your gear, your harness, so that you can work with your hands, man. You got to tie off. So you're 1,000 feet up and you're working with stuff. So you're going to want to mount the repeater probably in the base of a building down there, so that it has power and protected from the elements. And you're going to want to run coax up to your antenna. You're going to want to mount your antenna up there. You're going to check the SWR to make sure that it's tuned and not going to burn up your repeater. You're going to have to tune your duplexers. Yeah,
You're going to have to look like a cable guy up there.
Yeah, you're going to have to look like you're working there. And then I know this. The guy that services that knows that location. He knows his equipment. And when he comes there and he sees something that he didn't put in,
Yeah.
shoot.
What
Somebody put my
do you
YouTube
think
up there.
about using like drones to, like how you're using your slingshot? You think using a drone would be a smart thing, or is it?
We do that. Yeah, we
Okay.
use drones too. Yeah, that works well to bring the rope over the tree, pull it
Yep.
over the tree. Yeah, it's really easy. It's
And then
problem.
like
How about this?
let's
How
go ahead.
about use drones to be repeaters? You put
Yeah.
your two
Set it up.
Baofengs together with the controller and send it up a mile or half a mile. Look
Yep.
at the range you've got there for a short period of time. That works
Yeah.
good.
I've heard
Also,
that
we
works
do
good.
balloons. We do
Yeah.
balloons. We send them up with balloons. Now, them
Amateur
things go
balloons.
90,000 feet high
They sure
before
do.
they burst.
They might even go slightly a little bit above that.
maybe.
Mhm.
Yep. So
Um,
last week they showed a picture of a guy standing on something, and you could see the earth down below him.
yes.
So that was Felix Baumgarten.
Yeah,
He
the Red
jumped
Bull
from there.
jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I've
That's
studied
what
that
that
one
was.
intricately.
Yeah.
But
He broke
if
the
you look
speed
at
of,
the alternate camera, I'm gonna say as a hint, look at the alternate camera that's in the cabin with him at the horizon and the mathematics of the Earth and where he is and the location that he is, where he jumped from, where he took off from, and
yeah.
all that stuff. It's interesting mathematics.
When he jumped out, he was in the black. It was
Yeah,
black.
he
And he
was
broke the speed of
up there.
sound.
He did.
He broke the speed of sound on the way down too.
That's wild. I could
Yeah.
never. I would never do that. I'm just saying. I could deal with heights if I have to, but I'm not dealing with heights like that.
I
No,
dealt
no,
with
no.
heights. So
Yeah,
how I
you
deal
deal
with
with
that,
real heights.
being up on those towers. See, I sent you some videos if you wanted to show the people and I could tell them about it. But what I do is I
Yep.
close off the rest of the world, and I'm just worried about my 6 foot bubble around me. What
For
am I
sure.
stepping on? What am I grabbing on? Is this thing rusted? I need to just worry about me. I'm not worried about looking at the ground 1,000 feet down. So, so you just worry about you and go, and that's how I deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
So,
to, dude. You have to be focused on
yeah,
what you're doing up there. You can't have any distractions. And yeah, that's wild, man. I personally I would if unless I had no other choice, I'd prefer not to be doing it. That's for sure.
I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I know nobody's going to mess with me for the next hour. I don't
That's
have to
nice.
talk to nobody. I don't have to deal with anything. I'm just going to do my job and I'm going to work on it on my terms.
Yep,
You're
yep.
not going to tell me to hurry.
Hell
You
yeah.
want
No,
me
you're
to do
not.
this job faster? Come with me.
You go
So,
first.
yeah, it's funny.
That's awesome.
I've coached people up on some towers and walked them through it. I got a
Nice.
friend that went 1,000 feet with me on that man lift, and he was terrified. And I walked him right through it. He was actually the chief engineer of KFOR, or one of the engineers, and he was
Hmm.
terrified. And we went up together, and now he goes by himself.
That's
He
awesome,
was
man.
terrified.
One other question I had about Meshtastic and using drones is like, wouldn't it, you think it'd be a smart thing to place nodes on top of uh like light poles,
Perfect places,
hot,
yeah.
right?
Solar powered, if they're solar powered,
They
or
gotta be
you can
solar
tie
powered.
into their power. Yeah,
Or you
any
okay.
height you get helps. So when I was climbing cell towers and some other towers, I'd bring a radio with me, and I
Yep.
would go up and I would just experiment at what height do I need to be to really get some good distance without going up 1,000 feet.
Yep.
80 feet, about 80 feet, 90 feet. If
Nice.
you can get up there, you're going to cover 15 miles line of sight. That's a good
Yeah.
distance. So it's not
Most of
long.
it just has to do with getting debris out of your way, right? Like the
Yes, the
biggest thing is
trees.
that
Yeah,
you're just getting trees and buildings and
trees and yep,
housetops and that kind
yep,
of. Once you clear that out of the way and you're above it, you could pretty much
yep.
go. Kind of
That
that's
is
why I
right.
asked you
That's true.
about Marconi. Was Marconi was sending them all the way across the Atlantic Ocean because there's not anything really in the way. He was like the first guy
Well,
to.
he was using real low frequencies that
Yep.
they go up and they bounce off the atmosphere and come down.
Yeah.
So if you can see, you can go in the Grand Canyon and talk to New York, or talk 150 miles because your signal's going up. Now,
Yeah.
when you're on VHF like Meshtastic or 900 megahertz, your signal's going straight out,
Yeah.
and it's not going to bounce off anything like the atmosphere. So it's
Okay.
line of sight. That's it. So the higher you get it, the farther you can
So
talk.
really the whole reason why it's bouncing off the ionosphere is because the ionosphere is electrically charged to a point where it's not going to
Yeah.
penetrate that. The frequencies that are up there are so much higher, correct? That
Well, it's
it'll
refraction. It refracts it like a mirage, kind of like a mirage. But
yeah,
yeah, it's an electrical mirage,
yeah.
and it will go and it will refract it. Like light passing through a medium, and it's really unique. And you'll get some of it that'll,
how high do you from your understanding of how high the ionosphere is before it bounces down? It's above the cloud deck.
250, 250 miles, maybe
Okay.
200, maybe
Wow.
higher. So you have the D layer, which forms at nighttime, and that's lower. The D layer absorbs radio frequencies during the day, but at night,
Yep.
it allows the low frequencies to refract, and then you have the higher layers that work in the daylight. There's different types of ionization depending on what the sun's doing. So when the
Correct.
Earth goes into nighttime, there's no sun. The
Yep.
higher ones die, and the D layer.
Well, from my understanding, the sun
magic.
is it's magic. It's not anything that we can comprehend to the point, because it ionizes through the sunlight. It activates that atmosphere in different ways, in different color bands, like the different chemicals that are in the atmosphere are ignited, basically.
Well, it's
through
like
the
the aurora borealis, the night lights. That
Yep.
is the sun hitting those highly charged particles enough that it becomes a fluorescent light bulb, and it
Yes,
lights
does.
up.
Yeah, that's
But
basically what it
those
does.
are really, really high up. So the different colors show how high they are too.
Even like the blueness of the sky and the colors that change in the sunset, all that comes from charged particles from the sun itself.
Yep.
Which is
11
amazing.
o'clock. So
Yep, you're right on the
11
dot.
o'clock is, I take some readings at 11. I got to go walk around for a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good.
I take readings at 7, 9, and 11.
Okay.
So it's 11. I'll be back, y'all.
You could leave yours up. I'll mute you and put your screen down, and then
you won't hear nothing. I'm the only one here, so you really won't.
Okay, cool.
Everything's off. I'll be back. I don't know what I can put up here to entertain you for the minute, but.
Oh no, I'll chat with him. I got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim. All right, y'all. So anybody, Fluffy Bunny, you tripping, bro? You tripping, dog? We're gonna get there. I could talk a long ways, talking skip on my CB. Yep. Hey, got my in-laws watching the stream. Good to see you, in-laws. 143. Yep. They send me the 143. 143 back to you, my in-laws. Love you guys. That's funny. But yeah, man, there's so much information out there when it comes to radios. Like there's a lot of channels that on there that I knew that he shouted out, and I need to go back and follow all the rest of those ham channels and radio channels. But there's tons of information out there. Probably one of the most in-depth subjects that we can get familiar with. Especially if we just want to get off cell phones. Like we don't need the whole grid to be down. And this is one thing that I've been realizing and trying to get out to more people so that we could work together on building these networks. But Meshtastic, ham radio, CB radios, like the more we can put a cell phone down and not utilize it to communicate with each other, the better. And going back, it's always seems like today in the modern times, we're going back in time to get away from technology. Like the more technology increases, the more we want to go back to the days when we didn't have it, especially for the preparedness community. Yep. Rude's composition of the firmament. Yes. I want him in my foxhole. Yes, I do too. Tim Harper is not only radio savvy, but knows how to handle his weapons as well. Let's see. I have to do the Moses to keep them off my frequency. Hope you have ears. What's the Moses? James Lynch. Split the sea. Comms will be first, services down, all the interwebs. Yeah, I mean, all right. So this is my theory. What's up, Hutch? Man, appreciate you staying up late with me, brother. Thanks for coming through, dog. Make sure y'all go follow Hutch's channel. So one of the things that Hutch distracted me, but yeah, I don't know. I totally got distracted saying what's up to you, Hutch. I forget what I was going on. It'll come back though. I want rainbows back. Who voted the alphabet community to take them? Yeah, no, I don't know, bro. They always trying to hijack all our stuff. Um, but yeah, guys, get Mesh-tastic. It's if you are not radio savvy and building out a network, these things are like a BlackBerry that is direct to direct communications, and it's like kind of on a platform that we're all familiar with. So you'd be off you don't need a cell phone, you don't need anything. Some of the ones you use a cell phone to type and the message comes up, but they're now building them with keyboards and stuff. And it's basically when you get to that point, like a mix between a pager and a cell phone that does text, but it's direct using radio waves. And like he was talking about, there are radios that you can send and receive text messages on. So this is kind of in that realm, but you don't have the radio portion. You just are able to send messages back and forth through texting. And it's one of the basic ways. They're not that expensive. Um, but I am definitely gonna go get my GMRS license. I appreciate Tim for letting me know, and you guys in the chat let me know before while we were waiting on them that the GMRS license is a really easy thing to get. So we all need to go get GMRS licenses and then start working towards like having a CB in the car, having your ham license, understanding repeaters, understanding how to build these towers and repeaters yourself. So just little by little, man, we'll all get there. Don't start with that fish. Don't start with that one. That guy, I haven't seen him in a long time, so I'm glad. I don't know why he thinks that. He'll start with the David Koresh stuff. Yo, don't be David Koresh. Learn from David Koresh, but don't be David Koresh. Stay away from other people's wives, like David Koresh wasn't doing. I guess I don't know. They still shouldn't have done what they did to the man. So Tim Harper is coming back, y'all. It's not the end of the show. He's I'm guessing doing some type of checks that he's got to do where he's working, and then he's coming right back. We don't need no sneaking license. No, we don't. My understanding about the license, dude, are they like messing with me? Or am I 5x5, y'all? Can y'all tell me in the chat if I'm 5x5? I think his phone case is just a little blurry too. We good. Help the resolution. Okay. I need more light on my face. I mean, I'm in a dark garage, man. It's the voice that they're vibing with. RDR's relocating to Waco. I want to build my own Waco, but one that is not going to be under attack or not bother. Okay, I'm 5x5. Cool. I don't know what happened, but like it's not letting me screen share. Like all the screen share buttons and everything. Maybe if I do this, I have no idea why my screen sharing stuff is like gone on here. So that's really weird. The only downside to Mesh-tastic is that you have to have and or built. Would you say, Rip? Had to have and or built a local network, but the more and more of us who get Mesh-tastic unit, the faster and larger the network grows. Correct. That is correct. So that's why I'm telling everybody get Mesh-tastic, because the more people that have it, and then try to buy a bunch of them and give them to people that are close to you, so you could start building your own network. My wife's about to hit me with a frying pan. Nah, dog. My wife ain't hitting me with no frying pan. I'm gonna dodge that thing. She ain't hit me with no frying pan. She likes them frying pans. She don't want to dent it. Nikola Tesla made it all possible. Never forget. Did he though? I don't think my dog Nikola Tesla invented radio waves. Maybe. I know he messed a lot with radio waves, but I don't know if he was like maybe the first. Maybe he was. Maybe he was. I'll have to look. I know he did a lot with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and basically learned about all the different types of radio waves. But I wonder if standard radio, like AM, FM type stuff, was there before Tesla. Probably not. No, everybody. Scoop says yep. Fish, 100%. Yep. And never forget that Elon Musk made electric cars great again. Al Gore invented the climate scare. All right, we got Tim back. Let's bring him back up. Welcome
I
back.
changed shirts.
Nice. Black guns matter. Yes, they
Yep.
do. I'm a big one for rattle can in my guns, though. I pretty much spray everything down.
So this is pretty cool to have. This is an SDS unit in SDS 100.
Cool, cool. SDS 100.
Now, it's a scanner. I want to show you something. Turn it on. Now, this is called close call. You know what close call is? Let me grab a radio.
Nice. It's got my logo on it right now with that glare.
Yeah. So I got me a little radio here. Let's
Oh, okay.
where this? I'm not used to everything being so backwards.
Yeah, it takes me a little time to get used to it too. Okay.
Now, I'm going to key another frequency. So it reads out the frequency I'm on. I don't have to know what frequency you're on. This is cool because let's say that guy over there is using a radio and you don't know what channel he's on. Turn the volume down a little bit.
Okay, that's a scanner.
Now, see what it's not scanning. To scan, you have to know what channels you want to listen to and add them in.
Okay.
I am just picking channels at random and keying up. Look what
And
it's doing.
and
It's
it's picking
capturing
it
every
up.
one of them. Picks it up
Nice.
without knowing what frequency you're on. It's called close call. So
Close
you got
call.
your Baofeng. You got your Baofeng, and you and your homies are got your secret channel.
Someone's got one of those. You're jacked.
You can't hide from them. And this is what this frequency right here is what my VA, my local VA hospital repeater is on. Okay, NOAA weather radio. Can you hear?
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
Look, NOAA's frequency.
62. What is it? 6255.
Oh, look. It just picked up the NOAA weather radio. It just picked it
Oh,
up.
and it starts communicating, and you can use that as a radio as well. So you can snatch it and
No,
use it.
this is not a transmitter. This is receive only.
Only
Now,
receive.
this will
Gotcha.
pick up my highway patrol. This is what you need if you want to listen to the police. It picks up your
10-4.
digital P25. It picks up your NXDN. It picks up your trunked and local stuff, your 800 megahertz. They tell you your Baofeng can pick up the police. These ham radios no longer do that. They have moved to 800 megahertz.
800 megahertz.
This thing will pick it all up.
How much do one of those run you?
$600.
Holy
They're
smokes.
pricey. They're pricey, but they pick it up. Okay, now look at this frequency.
This little
That's marine radio. That's your marine emergency
Alright.
marine. Okay, now look at this. MERS. That's your MERS channel 5, MERS 4.
Nice.
That's what McDonald's is on or Walmart is on. Here's GMRS channel 8.
Chessboard is asking, do you know any good trunk scanners?
This one right here, trunking. This is it. The
That's it.
Uniden 100 or 200. The 100 is a handheld. The Uniden 200 is your base. There's a Bearcat that's good too. 636, I think, is the model number.
Okay.
So here's GMRS channel 7. And look, it also reads out your subaudible tone. CTCSS. It reads out what tone I'm putting out at the same time.
Nice.
So this is an important tool. If you want to listen, you go to a parade, you go to an event, You want to listen to security. You see that guy on the highway talking to the other guy, letting cars by with the flags. This will listen to them, and you don't have to know what frequency they're on. It's awesome. What about Tesla?
That is awesome.
You mean Tesla the car or Nikolai Tesla?
They mean
the
Nikolai.
man, Nikolai from Serbia. Yeah, that dude
Yep.
was cool. He was probably an alien, but he invented the AC motor. He invented a lot of cool stuff. I mean, he was in his own mind, and he got hit by a car and he died
Did we have
penniless.
radio broadcasting before Nikola Tesla or no?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. See y'all, your boy
that's,
Red Dawn was
FRS.
right about something. Trying
What's
to tell
that?
y'all. You're right, Fluffy. Protect this man at all costs. Yo,
So
Tim
you can
Harper's
just
a
listen.
national treasure, yo.
I'm just pulling up channels off my radio, and this thing's picking them up. It's not scanning. It's not going through any list of frequencies. It's just called close call. And you get this, and when you go to an event, if you want to hear, you're doing Milsom West, and you want to hear what the other guys are talking about, this will hear them. And you're going to have to block out your AM, FM stations. You're going to need to block out your NOAA weather radio. You saw it picked it up. I haven't blocked it out.
My in-laws know what I want for Christmas this year.
Yep. So
One of
I'm
those
using it on this
things.
old TYT. This is a better Baofeng, but it was $99 in the day. So
Okay.
this is the way to go. This close call, and some other
Yeah.
places call it different. But this is the scanner you want to listen to police and everything else. You type in your zip code, and it'll load all your police in from memory. You don't
From
have to.
zip code?
Yes,
It has
from your
GPS
zip
on it?
code.
It has
Huh?
GPS on it? Is it using GPS?
They have a GPS version, but I don't have that. I think they have GPS, but you can program it and you can just use zip codes.
Okay, how
but the zip code
close do
pulls-
you need to be from a signal, basically as long as it can pick it up?
Oh man, I hear my state police all over the state, but that's because they're on a trunked network. I was picking up NOAA weather radio, and I don't know where that transmitter is. Probably Oklahoma City.
Gotcha.
And I'm 30 miles from there. If 30 miles from Oklahoma City.
That's a long ways on
So
picking that
yeah,
up.
yeah. This is a treasure as far as radio stuff.
All right, hold on. Let me make you
Yeah.
big.
Uniden. Bearcat.
That's the Bearcat?
No, I don't think. Yeah. Uniden Bearcat. SDS 100. So they make like a 636, and you can buy I wouldn't say encrypted, but other digital modes for it. They'll sell you the update,
Nice.
and you'll be able to listen to all your digital police that have gone police. Now, see, I want y'all to see what I'm doing here. So if I push this button, damn it, wrong side. So I go to another channel.
Yep.
These are all repeaters.
It picks it up. And then you have those programmed in, right?
Yeah, see, these are programmed in on my radio.
Yep.
Okay, look at this.
So, real quick, Tim, explain to us the top number and the bottom number there. So that's only searching and sending between 1 and 2.
88.5. So that's a dual VFO. It has dual VFOs.
Yep.
And so I
Like
push
the Baofeng.
yeah, like a Baofeng. I just push one button and go to the other one. I can listen to both of them at the same time, but I can
Okay.
only transmit where the triangle is.
Gotcha. So that's how it works when you're normally. If you see both of those, you transmit from the one, but you're picking up everything in
Yeah.
between them as well, right? So the top number and
Yeah.
the bottom number, everything in between it,
So,
and then you're broadcasting from the bottom.
yep. So I went to VFO mode right here, which you can tune it like an old AM radio. Now see
Yep.
when I key it? I'm sorry about the
All good.
noise, but watch what happens when I hit this button and go to the top one. Now watch
Yep.
what the close call says. And it shows DCS 371. That's the DCS digital code that this is putting out. That's very hard to figure out on repeaters. If you want a repeater bust, you need, and what repeater busting is, oh man, I just found a repeater. Now I want to talk on it. So you figure out what the input frequency is and the tone to access it. So this will tell you what the access is.
So you could essentially use that Bearcat to find the repeaters as well, huh?
Yes, you can. Yes, you could. I think I'm hitting the wrong button.
That's
Or
probably a good
or did
thing
my
to
battery
do.
die? No, battery should
Not
work.
sure.
So, yeah, it's still working.
So real quick,
Also, look at this right here. See, I'm keying up, and you see the
Yep.
signal strength come up on that
Yep.
white line that came up.
Yeah. Yep.
That means it's real close.
Oh,
Yeah, this
okay.
is
That'll tell you
like a
distance.
diagnostic tool. This is a great diagnostic tool. So some of these I have locked out because they're just like AFM radio.
Gotcha.
If your FM radio is going to overpower it and lock on it every time, so you lock them out. TV channels, all that.
So Tim, give me. Is there anything while we're live that you can give me something to do on this Baofeng that would be a use to me?
Well, I would.
Should I start scanning?
Yeah, you can input all your MERS, GMRS, FRS channels. MERS is multi-use radio service, and it is VHF. It's like VHF GMRS. There's 5 channels. You'll hear Walmart. Go to ham radio repeaters in your area and type them in. You can type all those in and scan and start listening to the ham guys.
Is that a website? Ham radio repeaters?
Yeah, and it's been. I go to my state one. I go to ham repeaters. I just Google ham repeaters in Oklahoma, and then it'll bring up sites that you can use to see.
repeaterbook.com.
Repeater directory. Yeah, just Google repeater directory.
And you don't need to have a license to find those.
To listen. No.
Okay.
You can listen all day long, and it's transmitting that you have to have your license to make them happy. To comply with the law, you need a license. Yeah. So if you go to Milsom West and you bring this, you can listen to OP4. You can listen to the opposing force, even if they swap their channels every time they transmit.
So how do you get that thing to pick up what you want and not other stuff that's in the air?
So it had those banks.
Yeah.
Some of the banks are
choose
certain.
it.
Yep.
What's closest to you? Strongest.
Yeah. Like it gives you blocks of frequencies and services. So you're gonna want to block out your FM FM radio
and AM as well.
AM is not on here. It does not have AM. It stops low band like 30 megahertz. 30 megahertz and above is VHF and UHF. Below 30 megahertz is your shortwave. So it's a whole different.
Moose Man, I know that one got your eyes up. I know you're a radio guy, so when you see that, you're like, yeah, I got to get one.
OP4, man, and they won't know what hit them. You'll be able to listen to them. So we use that to listen to those BLM dudes, the protesters in Oklahoma City. We were monitoring them on their radios, and they never had a clue. And they were changing their channels up. We listened to them.
Do you know Chessboard says there's a program called Chirp? You put it on your computer to program the channels and repeaters you want.
Yep, it makes a spreadsheet on your computer, and you go in there, and it has everything listed by input frequency, output frequency, subaudible tone, input, how much offset, power high, power low, narrow band, wide band, and you can name your channels. You saw my channels were named.
Yep.
So how I name mine is, and I'll show you a neat way to name them that I like to do because even the newbies can figure this out. So you see SHA 390?
Yep.
That's Shawnee. I'm in Shawnee, Oklahoma, SHA 390.
Gotcha.
And
That's
I'll keep
going to
that repeater.
Utah.
Yeah, no, it's in Oklahoma. W5TAH. Anyone hear me? Can you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
I just hit the repeater. And it came over this at the same time by accident.
Nice.
You heard that.
Oh, yeah.
Now let me go up one more channel. Hey, is anyone able to copy me? This is W5TH, Tim and Shawnee. Am I making the repeater? Did you hear that beep? That was a tone. See if anyone's monitoring. This is the better repeater in my, and see it says SHA.
5 BGO repeater, PL 131.8.
So that was the automatic
Nice.
ID. It gives a call sign. Now we're kind of late. It's 11:30 damn near.
Yeah, I was
And
going
there
to say,
just might not
someone's
be
not
anyone.
manning them 24
Yeah.
hours a day, right?
No, it's just us listening. If you're listening, you're listening. And
Is it recording every single thing that goes over it?
nope,
No.
I don't think they are. You could set that up on a repeater, but I don't think they've done that.
So then if
Is
you really
anybody
don't
able
want to
copy
get
me?
caught transmitting.
W5TAH. Yeah, we hams probably don't record. I am definitely not a gatekeeper, for ham radio like they talk about.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No answer, but you heard the repeater. You
Yep.
heard it key up. This is my repeater, but I have to go out. Yeah, that's my repeater. I just keyed it. It's in Midwest City. It's 30 miles away. And if I go outside, I can get into it, but I'm in this building. So people can hear me.
Yo,
30 miles
Virginia
away. Every
roots,
Saturday
man.
we have a net. Huh?
That's awesome. Repeatermap.us has.
Yep. That's one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, all repeaters that are in there are not guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
Just because it's listed doesn't mean it's active and working.
Wow, the
But
West
it's a good
Coast
start.
is loaded with repeaters, and the East
California,
Coast
too.
is, yeah. I mean, New Mexico, Phoenix,
Yeah. New Mexico
Utah.
is a statewide link. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, bro! The East Coast has all the population of America, and there's
Well,
only a few. Charlotte,
yeah.
Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Wisconsin.
Some of these are nets or whole linked repeaters that go up and down the state too. New Mexico has one of the best. We have them here in Oklahoma too. They link them.
I might blank out real quick because I want to screen share this, and my screen share is not coming
Yeah.
up. So I'm gonna reset this web page and let's see. That worked. All right, that worked. I don't know what was going on, but let's check out amateur repeater map. There it is. So does this map make sense to you, or am I missing something here on the East Coast?
Well, probably your query for that map is based on a region. So I'm trying to see what we're looking at. Let me put my old man
So
glasses
basically,
on and
it's
read it.
giving us repeaters that say low level 4,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. I'm not sure what that marker is.
That's feet, right? How tall they are, or how elevation? Is that their elevation?
Could be elevation.
So there's I promise you, there's repeaters more than that across the country. I don't know why it's only showing
like nothing nothing in Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi,
Well,
nothing.
we know that's a lie. We
Okay,
know we know Texas has at least one repeater.
Well, is
At
it
least
this
one in
one?
Oklahoma, right? Or just kidding.
Oklahoma.
I've never used that. I've done the Oklahoma repeater directory thing.
Yeah, I may have to do that.
There's repeaters here, I promise you.
Yeah, they don't have
So,
anything in Oklahoma, it looks like. Or maybe
yeah.
this one over here. If that's still Oklahoma. Nope, that's New
Is there
Mexico.
up on the upper right, is there a search?
Yep.
Click on that. See if you can expand your search. Maybe it's too narrow.
I mean, I don't have anything that should be limiting it at this point.
And just to listen, you don't need to put in all your offsets and tones and any of that, just to listen.
Now, to listen, though, you still need your antenna needs to be able to pick up that
The better
frequency.
the antenna, the more range you'll get. Run an antenna about 20 feet, 25 feet off the ground outside, and you'll do pretty good.
Now,
just something outside
when
your
it
house.
comes to your antenna, is it the same receiving and sending is all the same in regards to what channel you're on, correct?
Yeah, with handhelds and base stations, yeah. Just buy a VHF, UHF antenna and just put it up, and yeah, it'll transmit. Just make sure that you're not putting more power in it than it's rated for, and you'll be just fine.
Gotcha.
And get good coax. You have loss in your coax. Coax is lossy, so you want to get the best coax you can for UHF and VHF.
And the coax is basically what you're using to connect it to your radio, correct?
Yeah, it goes from your radio to your antenna, and it delivers the power.
Is there a splitter where you have, or if you're using like an antenna that you put up somewhere, let's say you want to put one on top of your house and run it, right? Are you going to have to take your handheld and plug it into the top of where that radio is every time you want to access that? Or is there another way without plugging it in to act? Like, is there a Bluetooth thing that you can use, or is there anything where you don't have to plug directly into the antenna through a wire?
I don't think so. Think so. I'm not aware of that. I know we've got some. Now here's Artsy repeater directory, and see the states.
All right,
So
let's check that
it's
out.
got the states, ARTSCI repeater.
Artsy repeater directory.
You see the artsypub.com publishing. They used to make books. You used to buy books with the repeaters in them.
Yep. So is this the same one right here? I'm gonna put it on screen. Artsy.
So I did Oklahoma. Now it's showing cities. Cities in
So,
Oklahoma.
like this right here.
Yeah. Now you'll pick you can
Pick a
enter
state.
a call sign, like pick a W5MWC in the call sign. See where it says call sign? Click on that and type in W5MWC.
Search. Let's check it out.
Now that's a lot of stuff for it. I don't know why it's not showing the McLeod call sign or the Midwest City. Well, that's weird. I don't know what that was.
No
Select a
results.
state. Yeah.
All right, let's do Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Cool. So it tells you a lot of stuff. This one tells you a lot right here.
There you go. Now you pick the repeaters near your city, and some of them go by county and or area, and you just start programming that first frequency in. You see the plus and minus by the number?
Yeah.
So that's positive or negative offset. VHF can have positive and negative, yeah.
Okay. Is there any emergency services that use these repeaters?
Not in an official capacity. They can monitor. I know some MCOM emergency. The emergency department of counties that have ham radios in their MCOM shacks, and a ham operator sits there and passes information to the ambulance service or police or whoever needs to be contacted.
Nice.
So
Wow.
the
Well,
retrieve,
that's super
this is
helpful.
Retrievus RT97, RT, yeah, 97. Retrievus,
Yep.
that's a good radio for patrolling and going out because it's waterproof. Redevis
Let me
97.
write it.
I'll also show you another. I brought one with me, another patrol radio. Wait, that's
Bob Masavo says if you get a mag mount antenna, it likely needs a ground plane. So keep that in mind if you're just starting out. Good point there, Bob. Keep that in mind, y'all.
The roof of your vehicle is your ground plane.
Say that again, Tim.
The roof of your vehicle is the ground plane.
Okay.
Unless, tell me what vehicle magnet mount antennas don't work on. Ford trucks.
Aluminum one.
They don't stick. Yep.
Yeah.
Ford and magnet mounts don't work out that well.
So get a Chevy.
Or a Mopar. Well, I thought that was in here. Y'all need to get one of these babies.
What's that thing?
460 Roland.
Oh yeah, that 460 Roland. Yeah.
Look at that FPS, 185 grain, 45 caliber.
Ooh.
It's the most powerful handgun that you can really get that's production because it has over 21,000 foot-pounds of force with all the rounds. If you were to mag dump it into a bear, you shred it.
Very nice. I wonder if they make lever actions in that caliber as well. They probably do.
Maybe. I wish I could show certain items on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you know the rules, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I got a 2A channel. 2A.
Right.
And I've done live streams before, but usually you can't see the gun I'm carrying on my live stream.
Yeah, I got a couple. I got a couple all around me right now, but you can't see them on the live stream.
I do too. Well, that's weird. I thought I grabbed something.
Yup. Psalm Courier in the building. Welcome, Psalm Courier. Good to see you. Is there something that should have been taught in school? Yeah, bro, this is something that should be taught in schools. Schools waste your damn time. They don't teach you nothing. They turn you into what the government wants you to be, easily controlled, and a taxpayer. But we got to just start building our own networks, y'all. I mean, we live in the one place where we can't fall into the traps of being lazy and selfish and materialists, and we have to spend our time doing this stuff and building up community. That's where our life is. We have to make our own tribes and our own networks and mutual assistance groups because they don't want us connected. Nice.
You know what this is?
That's an old school one.
It's an ammo can stove. I got everything in here to stay warm.
Oh, nice. Dude, that's genius. Did you make it or did you buy it from someone?
There's a kit you can buy that you modify your own.
Nice.
I modified my own.
And then you run a chimney right out of that hole on the bottom there, or no?
Yeah. So
nice.
That right there is, the type of cloth that the fire doesn't go through.
Yeah, you put that.
So I've got everything in here to set it up. It's good to go. I believe in kits.
Absolutely.
Make kits. Everything you just grab and go.
Yep. I got a couple little stoves like that I've purchased and have, but I do need to get one of them little fire blankets. I don't really have anything that it would burn though.
See, I've got
But I
some
might.
wood
Nice
already in
tinder,
there, tinder to
fire
start,
starter.
and some fire. And where's the fire sits on is right here. It's ready to go. Literally light it and it's good to go. And I've got
Nice.
some other stuff in there.
Let me see. And then you cook where? On top of where
Yeah.
that hole was? Is that where the hole is?
Yeah.
You don't need a chimney on that, right?
Yeah, I like to run a chimney, and I made it where it uses the 3-inch stuff that you can use off a water heater, off a
Yep.
gas water heater.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And that's that material that doesn't burn. So
Yeah,
that's,
man.
I'm
Anybody
into
who's
bushcraft too.
yeah, you got to be. I talked about that earlier, man. You got to be well-rounded in every aspect of survival. And if you haven't gotten into prepping, man, start little by little. It don't take a lot to get yourself capable of taking care of yourself, man. You just have to have some ingenuity and a little bit of imagination. And it actually has become my favorite hobby in the world. It keeps my mind busy, keeps me active. Push yourself in every way that you can to be as prepared as possible.
So I almost got Matt hoovered, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So Tulsa police, I was carrying a AR pistol, and Tulsa police arrested me for carrying it on the sidewalk in Tulsa.
Yep.
And took my gun, and because I had a hand stop on the front, like a barrier,
They tried to say it was a vertical foregrip.
it had a vertical feature in it. Yep.
Yeah.
Turned it over to the ATF, and the ATF said, "Oh, you got a short barrel rifle because it has a unauthorized They said that was fine, but they said it's a short barrel rifle because it's got an unauthorized pistol brace on it."
Oh, at the time when all this crap was going on.
Yep. Well, what's that say? What's that say?
It says ATF compliant that I bought with my own money from the store.
It had a binary trigger on it.
Nice.
They said that was a machine gun and a short barrel rifle. And they brought charges on me with the Northern District of Tulsa Federal District Court.
Yep.
And they said that upon release, it was shooting twice. And no, that was basically a new trigger, and it never did that to me. And they said it was short barrel rifle because of this. So for 2 years, I sat there and wondered what's going to happen.
No way.
Unbeknownst to me, the prosecutor said, nope, I'm not taking those charges. That's BS.
Yep.
So we had a base prosecutor, and I got an attorney named C.J. Grisham. Do y'all know who C.J. Grisham is?
I have heard of C.J. Grisham.
Anybody?
Yep.
Well, he tried to get my gun back. The ATF agreed to it. They said, we'll give the gun back without the trigger. And then the all the brace stuff happened with GOA and Nagger and all them, and they said, fine, that's not an issue anymore. We'll return it. But it's still a machine gun, and we can take the trigger out.
And then the FRT thing passed?
That was recently, yeah. Well, they won't return. They've never returned my gun. They've stole it. Basically, is what this comes down to. And no charges were ever filed because we had a base.
You didn't do nothing wrong.
Didn't do nothing wrong, but they tried. And that's because Tulsa, this is almost 4 years ago now, Tulsa hates open carry. And I was open carrying, walking down the sidewalk. And in Oklahoma, when open carry was legal. This is one of the things that got me out of the trouble, that word there. Because they said, he bought that without the intention of breaking any law. And you know what? Also, they stole my gun. They still have it. I filed for the amnesty SBR, and I've never heard back from them. I submitted pictures. I submitted everything.
Yep.
And they won't pop that binary out and give it back to me. So just to say, F you, I built another one, but I built it on a
nice
BRN 180 so that I can actually shoot it with the folded stock.
Nice.
Much better gun,
Hell
so
yeah.
I've done that. Hell, I got pictures of my guns on my phone, and I take pictures of the serial numbers and the guns in case something happens.
Smart. I need to do
So
that too.
you saw the picture of the gun with the detachable magwell in my pictures.
The
So
detachable
that's a very
magwell.
unique gun. I can shoot AK magazines, Stanag magazines, 9mm magazines from that gun.
Nice.
It's an AR. So it's called a Hydra, and I've got 2 of them. Those are real neat guns. People
And
would probably be interested in them.
that is cool. I saw there was a company with the AK. There's an AK that they made now that the magwell can be changed out and it can take standard AR mags. That's
Yeah, I
it.
think I've seen that gun.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, but I pretty much just stick with the basics and build my guns out as cheap as possible. That's as quality, low mid tier quality. Oh yeah, is that it right
That's
there,
on the first
Brent?
day. That's not it. That's just on the first day of constitutional carry with my. Let me kill a light with my car. Now there's no. Now my shit's almost too bright, huh?
No, it looks
My,
good. You see it good?
FAL,
Hold on.
that's an FAL with my Barracuda.
Nice.
65 CUDA, and I walked around with that all day on a constitutional carry day. We had a big thing to do at the what you call it. That's me trolling the Democrats, and that says Democrat Party on the shield. I can't see this sucky. Here, maybe this will work.
That was classic. I was gonna say, could we play the video of you in the park?
You can play all my videos. Yeah, there I was open carrying at a parade in Harrow, Oklahoma, and this is the gun they stole from me. The ATF stole that gun from me. That's the one they stole.
All right, so I'm sure pretty much all of us have seen this video. I'm not sure if everyone realizes that this is Tim Harper, but I'm gonna play.
You've probably seen the video.
Yeah, oh, bro. Everybody who's in the 2A world has probably seen this video. It has 1.5 million views on it. And we're going to play some of it real quick. I got to use the restroom, so I'm going to put it on the full screen real quick, Tim. And then when I come back, yeah.
There's the one with the interchangeable magwell.
Oh,
and
that's
quick
awesome.
change barrel. And quick change barrel.
Oh, so you could quick change 7.62 everything. That's sick. What is it? Who makes that?
Hydra weaponry.
Sick.
Yep, I got 2 of them. They're badass. You can convert them to pistol. Here's some work, and after the video, I'll show you some work I did on guns.
All right, let's play this real quick.
My license is displayed by my pistol.
Okay.
The
keep your hands up. I'm gonna wait till I get some more units up here.
The shouldered weapon here is a pistol.
Okay.
So,
well, we get a call about a rifle, so
yep.
Obviously that's not an open carry ability.
Yep. A rifle is not, but a pistol is, and this is a pistol.
That is correct, but I don't have any. I got to confirm that.
You got to confirm it, yes. So you will.
Are you videotaping and doing
Yes.
this just to see what type of rise you get out of people when they call?
Yeah, this is a Second Amendment audit. We're going to see if you guys respect the Second Amendment and how you respond to someone carrying a pistol.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you causing panic. Can you turn around?
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's got less than a 16-inch barrel. It's got the.
Go ahead and take that off.
Okay. Right here is my permit, which I'll flip it
The
around.
other units can slow down. It's just the guy that practices his Second Amendment. Sir.
Good.
So explain to me what that what rifle that is.
It's a pistol.
Uh-huh.
It is got less than a 16-inch barrel, and with the brace, it is classified as a pistol.
It is classified as a pistol.
Yes,
what
it
kind
is.
is it?
CMMG.
CMMG?
Yep. 9mm.
All right.
You understand what that looks like?
I understand exactly what some people that don't know it could look like or from a distance.
Okay.
But you know, after November 1st, you're going to get a lot of that.
Well,
And we want to.
not with rifles, but
Yeah,
so
right.
do you have a federal tax stamp?
No, there's no need for a federal tax
There's
stamp.
no need.
No, no, sir. Arm, that is what classifies it as a pistol.
Let's have a phone on.
Mhm.
Do some Google.
Weather's not showing anything on TV. I'm watching the Weather Channel radar. It's showing us not to hit until after just under 10.
So what's your reason for coming out here to do this in the park with
Just like a
tons of kids playing baseball?
Just
and
look at this. See.
it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, it's part of it's an education deal. Such as you guys don't know that that's a pistol or rifle. You're having to check it out right
Yeah,
now.
that looks like a rifle to me.
It looks like one.
Yeah.
In Tulsa, where we've been doing it, we've got it to the point where when people call in, the officers just. It's a Second Amendment audit.
If it's the barrel.
Mm-hmm. And with
So, how many of y'all have seen that video? Cops are not trained in weapons ID. I mean, yeah, they're not trained in weapons ID, but dude, you would think the most common platform in America, which is the AR-15, that they would know the difference between an AR pistol and an AR rifle, especially when stuff like this could come up and you'd look like a ding dong, not knowing the difference when it's the most common platform in America. And I don't know what they're busy doing, but we want to know those things for a reason, right? And they carry guns every day. You would think the most common platform, they would at least understand that. They don't need to know every freaking gun out there, but they should know that.
Yeah, we actually ended up having a meeting with the police, and they're the ones that changed how they're going to call in man with a gun. So
Yep.
they changed.
Oh,
their
that was the
protocol
same
because of that.
department?
Yeah, show the one in McLeod, Oklahoma. That's a funny one too, where I
Yeah.
snap back at the dudes, and that's a funny one. Some of my videos are actually pretty damn funny.
They are.
They are hilarious because I'll turn it right back on them. And some of my First Amendment audits are pretty wild too. You would not believe how tripped out people get when you walk in a public building with a camera or your phone.
Yeah.
I'm just recording in a public space and I can do it. Oh, you can't record in a federal building or a government building. Or what are you doing? Are you going to bomb us? And it's legal.
All right, which one are we talking here? This top one?
The one with the black guy, the one below that. That one's pretty funny. No, the one above it, right there. Yeah. No, not that one. The one with the he's got the beanie hat. That one. Yeah.
All right.
The beanie hat dude. It might be about another minute before I get the reaction, but you'll see it here in a minute. I'm just walking around with an AR, and I'm telling them I'm just taking my AR for a walk. Just taking my AR for a walk.
So you got the. What are y'all doing? Doing a Second Amendment audit of McLeod. See if they respect our Second Amendment rights.
Oh.
I got a pistol right here.
Oh, I see.
See?
I didn't realize that. Oh, you're about to see the camera.
Yeah, I'm making a video. So I went to Edmond, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Norman in the past 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I'd try to hit a small town and see what they think about open carry. Yeah. See what small towns think about it. So, yeah, they have to investigate, and I'm cool with that because it looks like a rifle, which is illegal right now at this moment. But, yeah, pistol is not. Hey, how's it going?
He sounded
just
a little
taking the
too
AR
happy.
for a walk today.
That guy.
Because I can.
What are you doing in front of the PD?
I walked in front of the PD and stopped to talk to my friends there that came by.
Do what?
And I stopped to talk to my friends over there.
Okay.
Could you remove your hand from your pistol, sir?
No, I won't.
Why?
Why are you carrying the AR-15?
Because I can.
Why? What's the purpose of it?
Well, I'm an American and I have the right to defend
I
myself.
I totally understand that. Why would you carry AR-15 through the city?
Because I can. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing illegal. It's all good.
Okay, do me a favor. I'm gonna dismount you.
No, under the SDA laws, you are not allowed to remove my.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
I got called out here because a passerby said that you was walking the street with your AR-15. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's perfectly
so
legal.
That's my reasonable,
yeah,
probable cause for being out here with you. Okay. So do me a favor.
I've shown you my permit. It's displayed.
You have a permit.
Yep.
So this is more than one time that you've come over here. For what reason?
With the AR? No.
Other than your AR.
Oh, when I brought my camera?
Yeah.
I'm exercising my First Amendment rights at that time, and today too. Yes, sir.
Okay. But do me a favor. Okay. I'm asking you to get off of our property, city property. Okay. As a city official, law enforcement officer, I'm asking you to get off of our property.
You can't tell me to leave city property.
I'm asking you to leave our property. Do you have any business here at the police department?
I'm taking a nice. Well, I'm not visiting the PD. I walk by the PD, which is legal. Which is legal to walk by the PD and continue on my way down the street on a public sidewalk. So what crime do you suspect me of?
Let them know we're in front of the PD on the east side.
What crime do you suspect me of?
Do you have any ID on you?
I just showed you my
Let me see your ID. Let me see your state ID, bud.
You don't have the right to ask me that unless there's a crime.
State ID, okay?
You don't need to see that.
I've got called out here because a pacifier is concerned about you. So
I understand that, and you're making sure I'm not breaking the law, and I'm not. So
okay,
you
well, I
made
need to know who I'm talking to. So let me see your ID.
I displayed my.
Okay, well, let me see it.
I displayed my SDA card right there.
Let me see that hand.
I don't have to hand it over, sir.
So
the law states I have to display.
So let me see.
I'm displaying it right here.
Your driver's license.
I do not have to hand it over, sir. The law says you can see it right here, right?
What is your name?
I'll display it for you to see.
What's
yes.
Your birthday, Timothy Harper?
I don't need to provide that information for you.
Dude, I'm asking you.
What statute compels me?
I'm asking you a lawful question, okay?
Yes.
I'm not going to sit out here and
you can ask all day long.
Lawyer such as that, okay? So I'm asking you a question.
Yep. You can ask all day long.
What is your driver's license? What is the birthday that's on your driver's license?
I don't have to answer, sir. Okay. There are no failed to ID statutes in Oklahoma.
Man. If you're not going to cooperate with me, I'm going to need you just to exit off of our property.
Sir, this is a public property.
Sir, I'm going to ask you. Yeah, this is.
You're going to ask. You can't tell me.
I'm going to ask you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue on my walk because I was walking when you stopped me.
Well, I appreciate that.
Have a nice day.
You walk that way.
Have a nice day. But I'm going to come back through the property later.
Get off my property.
Because well, now that you're telling me to get off, I'm not going to get off.
Okay, well, I'm asking you. Exit off our property.
Why?
Because you have no business on our property.
Yes, I do.
What?
We pay tax money, and this is my sidewalk.
Report? Are you going to fill out a voluntary statement? Do you need to talk to an official?
Well, as of right now, you're earning that complaint.
Do you need to talk to my sergeant? Who do you need to talk to?
Is Wes Elliott around?
Wes Elliott is not around, sir.
Well,
Wes Elliott's here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Great. He'd be a great one to talk to.
Okay, that's who you can talk to then.
Okay, would you summon him?
He is not here at the moment. I'm not going to call him up just because you want to talk to him. He'll be here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
All right.
All right. So if you have anybody else you want to talk to, outside of myself, I have another officer here.
Yeah, he's right behind you.
Yeah. Is that who you want to talk to?
I don't really need to talk to anyone. I'm not violating the law.
All right, well, keep on moving then.
I don't need to keep moving. Right. You can't tell me to go or stay on a public sidewalk when there's been no. You can't trespass anyone off city property.
Okay, well, you said you was walking. Okay?
Yes, I was, but now you're telling me to walk, and you're not going to tell me what to do. When I'm not in violation of a law, I can stand on your sidewalk all day long and exercise my First Amendment rights and film the police until you go off shift. I mean, I have nothing better to do today.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. What's the issue? I don't either. We just got the call. Passerby walks by. He's got an AR strapped to the bag. How you doing?
Man, he's having a hard time breathing.
So display this CCL CCL. Concealed carry license, state license. It's open? It's open carry? Yes.
I'm just walking down the street and he stops me. I was talking to my friends that stopped there and saw me. So I come back.
I explained to you why I'm here, okay?
Yeah, I do. You had a call and
I got a
some.
call.
Okay. If you had a call of somebody flying a kite in a park, what would you tell them?
Well, it's not suspicious. They're not walking around with an AR-15.
Neither is lawfully exercising your Second Amendment rights is not
Basically, you just
suspicious.
come to
What do you suspect me of doing illegally?
Okay.
What do you suspect me of committing a crime? What crime are you articulating here?
Do you have your ID?
I am not compelled. There are no stopping ID.
Do you have a driver's license that I can see?
Well, you don't have. I'm not driving.
Do you have a state-issued ID?
I do, but you don't have to see it at this point in time. I'm not suspected of committing a crime. There are no fail to ID statutes in Oklahoma without. Even if I committed a crime, I don't have to tell you. We do not have that statute here.
Here's the deal, man. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you.
Okay,
right?
well then have a nice
If you don't have
day.
any more thing else to say, you can go ahead and continue on.
I will. When you guys leave, I'll continue on.
Okay.
When you leave, I will continue on. Have a nice day. You're dismissed. I mean, I'm not breaking the law. When you guys leave, I'll leave. When you confronted me, I did not ask for police help. I'm not asking for now.
I just told you why.
Exactly. Well, what if you got a call that some?
Yo, so Tim, this video's great, man.
You should see what the old man at the end said. At the very end, when I walk off, an old man says, these motherfuckers have been fucking with us for years, and you just set them straight.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, bro, they do answer to us, and they are public servants. So as much as I think we need policing, you know, it's good that people are out there making sure that they're sticking to our rule book and our constitution, making sure they're respecting people's rights.
Somebody was walking their dog down the street.
We'll keep going with it.
I'm in the same realm of law violation as walking my dog down the street right now. And actually, this is a protected right. Protected. I have the license and I've shown you, and you are still standing here in front of me telling me to get my ass down the street on a public street.
Sir, did he tell you to get your ass down the street?
He said walk. He said not exact words, but that's the inference.
Sir, say the exact words that the officer said to you.
He told me to leave.
Not the words that you
He told me to leave from in front of the police department, which I walked in front of, was heading that way. I stopped and spoke with my friends that stopped to see me. And then he yelled, sir, come back here. So I come back here and he asked me what I'm doing. And I am walking down the street, taking my AR for a walk. That's it. Lawful.
Taking your AR for a walk.
Yes.
You got to walk your AR?
I do. I exercise my Second Amendment rights on a daily basis.
That has no concern to me.
I understand.
You're just telling me that you're walking your AR like you walk your dog.
Yeah. It gives me exercise. I prefer doing it.
Is it loaded?
Yeah. Yes, it's loaded. It's lawful.
Okay.
In fact, it's a pistol. It's classified as a pistol. Less than a 16-inch barrel with the foregrip. It's a pistol, AR pistol. So there's nothing illegal about it. You can't carry an AR rifle lawfully till November 1st. What are you guys going to do when people start doing that without a license? Without showing you the license. On November 1st, this becomes legal to carry a rifle.
Well, does that make you feel better?
Yes, exercising my rights. I'd prefer not to be hassled. I mean, like Oklahoma City, I walked around Bricktown for 2 hours last night and was not even approached. Now, Edmond drew down on me with their AR-15s. Yeah, they did. And when they found out it was a pistol, we're sorry, sir. So, hey, guys, us citizens have the right to do this.
Well, we, as law enforcement officers, we have a right to protect
You have a
ourselves.
duty. You have a duty, correct?
We have a right to protect ourselves.
You do.
And others.
Yes. You actually don't have. You're not compelled to.
Don't
because there was in Washington D.C.
This
they
is not
had a court
Washington,
injunction.
This is Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a Supreme Court case.
Okay. Well, this is Oklahoma.
They said police do not have to really defend the citizens. You want to,
sir.
and I get that.
All right, sir. You have a good day.
So, all right, you guys too. Y'all have a great day. I'm sure you've got other things to do other than harass law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, you have a right to not to,
Yes, sir.
to harass law enforcement.
I'm not harassing law enforcement. I didn't. He approached me.
Sir, I'm not.
This old man is great.
Oh yeah, you sure can talk to me, sir.
This is the guy, right,
Yes,
Tim?
I do.
Yeah.
It's called News Now OKC.
News Now OKC.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting older.
Okay.
News Now OKC.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
buddy, I really appreciate what you're doing.
Do you?
These motherfuckers have bullied the hell out of people around here for 25, 30 years.
I grew up here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You don't mind if I film you? You tell that?
I wish you would.
Okay. Yeah, okay. There we go, sir. News Now KC is my YouTube channel, and I go around educating police about our First and Second Amendment rights. I went to Edmond, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, and Norman
Did they,
the past 2 days.
Did they accuse you of breaking the law?
No.
I can hear you say a few words there.
Yeah.
You said, no, I'll leave when you do.
Mhm.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep. So they're getting in their car, leaving, I guess. I don't know. They're all back at the car now. Maybe I'll go back, but I'll stay right here. Basically, it's the same thing.
Now, tell me one more time so I won't forget.
News Now OKC.
Hey, could I get your? I'd like to send you a little money. Hey, could I get an address?
Just if I don't
Can I
have a
get it
pin.
off? Can I get it off of there? Off of
Yeah,
there?
yeah, you can. News Now OKC, and you can just comment in there and tell me you're the man from McLeod.
You know, I have never been in trouble in the law in my
Yeah.
life, and neither has my grown son. And he's been harassed and bullshit around here trying to pull through here to get his job done.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the comment.
It takes a little courage to do that. You're doing that for all of us.
Yes, I am. I was up at the legislature working on getting our permitless handgun carry passed. Got that done. So, hey, yeah.
Keep it up. Are you local?
I live in Choctaw.
Did you say
Yeah.
you went to school in McLeod?
Yes, I did.
Well, what's your name?
Timothy Harper. Tim Harper.
Tim Harper. About what year?
1985 is when I graduated.
You probably knew my kids, Joe Starkey.
Yes, I did. Yep.
He's one of these bastards have just been really.
Oh, really?
It's pretty much
Keep
down
it up, my
there.
friend. We appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
One more time.
Yeah, write it down. My channel's News Now OKC.
Yo, man, that interaction was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I've had some just as crazy, some not so bad. Some officers just say, have a nice day. They don't even mess with me because they know I'm not breaking the law.
Yep. I'm sure you're pretty well known in Oklahoma by now.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, like some of the point of it is to not give your name and ID, but they already know who I am. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I worked with a lot of them because I worked in jails and prisons for 18 years, and they passed through there on their way to be police. So it didn't do me any good to try to play I'm not going to show you my ID game.
Yeah.
They already knew who I was, or I worked with some of them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
worked in jails and prisons. So, you see, JFK suspended his, you probably talked about it before I got in here. I got in here pretty late and threw his support behind Donald Trump.
Yeah, man. And if you guys didn't see the speech that he gave tonight at Trump's rally, and the speech that he gave supporting Trump and suspending his run for president, you need to watch those because
It's good.
oh man, it's good, dude. If we can put him as the pit bull of health in this country, and them, the thing they were saying, aren't y'all tired of having your food poisoned? I was like, yeah, y'all got me here. That's the type of stuff we've been waiting to hear on a political stage. Stop poisoning us.
Did you see Donald Trump partnered with GOA? Did you see that speech?
Yeah, I talked about that too. That speech was great.
Okay. Yeah, if
true.
If GOA can give him guidance, man, we'll have machine guns in 4 years.
Hell yeah. We just won that court case, so
yeah, in the 10th Circuit over my area.
Mm-hmm.
That if machine guns were perfectly legal before 1986, why can't they be lawful now? What made them change? That is the weakest argument they have.
For sure. The NFA also. Everything about the NFA.
I remember when you could get a machine gun and transfer it for not much money And $200 was a lot of money then, but you could make your own. They used to sell full auto kits in Shotgun News.
Yeah.
And you could buy them at your stores and convert your own gun after you transferred it and registered it. We could all have them.
Oh man, way back
1986.
in the day, you could order it right to the house.
Yes. Well, yeah, that was before 1968.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I remember full auto guns in stores. And they were transferable, and you had to do that paperwork, and then you could own it. You can buy the kits and convert your own. And now it's illegal. And you know who did that? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan did a lot of screwed up stuff. Bro, all the presidents before and Donald Trump made some mistakes. We can't afford no more mistakes. We need a perfect record for 4 years. We need it.
Donald Trump's fault was talking to the NRA. Well, I talked to the NRA, and it's okay to ban bump stocks.
Yep.
Even if a bump stock is a gimmick or not really a really good product, it's the right to have it that counts. It's not what you think of the thing.
Yo, you know who's really been making a big difference with Donald Trump?
JD?
JD. No, the guy who runs the UFC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's become really close with Trump, man, and he's been helping a lot with get Trump on the right track of what modern times and understanding. People are smarter today, man. We have the internet. We understand how y'all screwed us. You could screw people back in the day before the internet, and the whole world wasn't researching it. You know what I mean? They were just like, oh, okay, sounds good.
That's why Joe Biden would say all the stupid shit he said, because no one checked him back then. And I remember policing before body cameras and cell phones. They got away with everything. They could beat your ass, and there's nothing you could say about it.
Yep.
I remember those small town cops.
And man, our rights and everything, the division they cause between races and other people in society is bullshit, because we all are being played by the same tyrants. We really are.
Yep. I mean, I'm for the good police. It's the ones that are bad I don't like. And you know what? I worked with them. Like stuff like this. We were booking a guy in who didn't really seem that drunk. He was being booked in for a DUI, and when he blew on the machine, he was legal. He was lawful. He was not drunk. But what the cop told me, this guy said things and made the cop mad. And what he said is, this guy's going to have to get his car out of impound, get an attorney. He's going to have to go through all the rigmarole, and I get overtime when I go to court.
I got screwed like that. I got screwed like that, dude. When I was 19 years old or 20, and me and my buddies, you know, we went out to the college bars, and I was like, I'd never really been a drinker, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna make sure I drive, and I'm not gonna drink. And on our way back home, we got pulled over, and the cop's like, yo, so everyone in the car, you could tell they were kind of drunk. And he was like, so how much have you had to drink tonight? And I was like, I think I had one beer a few hours ago, and that was all I had. And that was the truth. And I was like, I'll blow for you if you want me to. And he goes, well, how old are you? And I said 20. And he goes, so how many beers are you allowed to have at 20? And I was like, none. So I did blow, and I was under the legal limit, and I still got like a thing that I got off my record and everything. But it was a big fucking hassle, and I lost my license for a year and all this shit, and I had to do all these classes. And I go to these DUI classes, and they're telling their stories of what their limit was and what their thing was when they blew. And I'm like, dude, I don't belong in here. Like, I was being responsible just because I'm a year difference than 21. I have to go through all this and pay all this money and lose my license for a year and go through just a bad time when, you know,
they used to sell beer in vending machines in Navy barracks when I was in the Navy. When I was 18, you could buy beer at 18. We got pulled over one time and had beer in the car, and you know what the officer did? He poured it out, sent our asses home. So it really sucks.
It sucks, man.
Yeah,
They
and things that were a misdemeanor when I was young is a felony now. They
because
they
they
make
want
everything
to.
a felony.
Yeah, they don't want you to vote. They don't want you to own a gun. They realize if they can make you a felon, then you're like a limited individual. You only have partial freedom, and that's
I
bullshit.
think that started in 1958. There was a law they passed in 1958 or 6, something like that, that made a felony a lifetime thing because it used to not be.
Bro, that's
We
a
have lost
lifetime
so many
punishment.
rights. We have lost so many rights in the past 100 years,
Yeah,
especially in the past 50.
I talk about it a lot, and I know you listen to my channel and stuff, but yeah, man, since the around the 1960s is when we really started changing this country completely. And I think they really did the hippie movement to make people docile and compliant and leftist and start bringing down the testosterone and start making people not self-reliant and focused on having a good time and doing drugs and spending their time in the culture and the music and all the BS. And they carried that on all the way until now.
The luxuries you requested are now mandatory. You ever heard that saying? So everything, like we can't live without Wi-Fi, we can't live without internet, we can't live without fuel injected cars because they're easy to drive.
Yep.
I remember when cars were not fuel injected and sometimes you couldn't get your car to start, or you had to wait 30 minutes because it was flooded, and you had to let that gas get out of the intake manifold. I remember when cars you had to, every 8,000 miles, you had to put points in them. The old cars were like that. Now you just drive them forever. And then so we learned how to fix them. We learned how to work on our own stuff. Now you don't have to. So
have you ever heard of this thing? It's called hold on. I had it pulled up. Here it is. It's called planned obsolescence.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that in radios. So when we used to buy CB radios, we would buy a radio that had all these features, and well, 2 years later they come out with a new version because now it's got an extra feature. And we open the radios up and look at this old one. It's got the circuit traces on the circuit board that the new one has. It just doesn't have the components on it. The new one is populated with the components. Planned obsolescence. Yeah, stuff is only supposed to last for so long, then you got to buy a new one. And not like brake pads, but like our phones. They slow the iPads down. They slow the phones down. They get slower. The batteries don't last as long. They come out with a new charging cable. Stuff just changes and they leave. It's not backwards compatible.
Yeah, it's designed for you to continue to buy and buy and buy and buy and buy. And the light bulb was one of those things.
Yeah.
When they first made the light bulb, that thing would last.
So was the Schick razors.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Described as the practice
the
of
light
designing
bulbs would
products
last
to
100
break
years. They
quickly.
wouldn't wear out.
Yep.
Yeah, they have that lasts just as long as a warranty, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Schick razors, razor blades, they would give the razors away free as long as you bought the razor blades. That was back in the day, when they came out with safety razors. So.
Yeah, 100,000 miles,
what else
5-year
is going
warranty.
on? Yep, that's true. So I'm building a car at home that should be EMP proof.
Nice.
I'm building an old car. I got the gas tank for it yesterday. It's a 63 Plymouth Valiant. And this thing is going to be as simple as they get. And I'll be able to fix it on the side of the road. I traded it because I got a Barracuda. And I wanted overdrive in my Barracuda, so I got a Dodge Dakota with a V8 that had the correct overdrive transmission, and I took that out. And I was trying to get rid of the truck, which had no transmission. And a guy brought it from a junkyard, and when I went over and talked to him, he had that old Valiant sitting there, and it was a complete car, so we traded. He come over there with a flatbed with that Valiant, and dropped it off and picked up the old truck and was gone. So I have stripped this Valiant down to nothing, and I'm starting to build it back up now. and it's going new bearings, new seals, new. If it can wear out, it's going to be replaced. And this car will probably last another 60 years. I put in stainless steel
That's
floor,
awesome.
the floor of it. The floor is stainless steel
Nice.
because I used these from the city. I used these signs, big signs that I was able to put in a brake and bend the metal and rivet it in and make it match. So when I put the carpet down, you won't know any difference. And I'll die before it rusts out. So does anyone have any other questions about radios, history of radio, anything before we talk about other stuff? Because as you see, I'm rolling down the road. I'm off work right now, so I can
Moose
talk
Man
about it. I've
says,
got all the radio stuff put up.
Moose Man says, I still have tube type ham radios for shift/EMP.
Okay, awesome. I've got one tube type radio, a Yaesu FT101, in a Faraday box at home. Tube type. What kind do you have, Moose Man? What do you have?
What kind you got, Moose
Hallicrafters,
Man?
Kenwood, Yaesu. I'll tell you the best radios are Harris and some others. Floor panels, they like it in the 70s. Fill the frame with expanded foam. I did that. I put expanded foam in the cracks, but I left 2 holes in the back at the lowest point for any water to drain out. So I'm a Mopar guy. I like the Mopars. Got a 65 Barracuda. And like the picture we showed earlier, actually, y'all guys saw it. So
yeah, my brother
went
has
to Arizona to get it.
67 Trans Am, but I think he modernized it.
77?
Yeah, you're right, actually. 77.
77 Trans Am?
Yeah.
If there were no 67 Trans Ams.
Yeah, you're right. 77.
Hey, man, y'all know how, when I was in high school, you know how we used to make free phone calls? So you carry a phone with you with a 10 or 15 foot extension cord.
Yep.
And a screwdriver or a nut driver. And you go to the 7-Elevens or the stores that had pay phones. Well, those are really just regular phones. And they have a line that probably goes to the back of the building to the little gray box. And you open up that little gray box, pop the damn wire or the cable going to their phone, plug your phone in, and then just make your phone call for free. And then button it back up and go home. So we made free phone calls like that.
Gunslinger has a question for you.
Okay.
Have you
D-Star,
used
yes.
D-Star?
Yeah, that's ICOM, and that's a very good digital mode. It's great. If you have a D-Star repeater, that's one of those internet connected repeaters that you can talk all over the country, all over the world. So, yeah, D-Star is good. It was the first digital protocol that ham radio picked up. It's
Bob says he was getting
tooth now, but it still works.
Yeah, Bob said he was getting into tubes, and they made him really appreciate semiconductors.
Semiconductors, yeah, they run a lot cooler. They take a lot less voltage. You remember the old TVs, man, and how hot they were coming off of those tubes?
And
Tube
how heavy?
equipment pulls a lot of heat, heavy. You need a big power supply, high voltage. You can get the fire shocked out of you with those old tube gears too. Those capacitors hold so much electricity. They can hold shit for 10 years. And here you come along and touch it, and you look like the cartoons, So
Moose Man says he can't recall the name right now. Most of his gear is ICOM and some Heathkit.
Okay. Heathkit, yeah, good old company, man, out of Benton Harbor, Michigan. Check that out. Yeah. They sold a lot of kits, and they had some great stuff too. Heathkit started out with televisions, build your own TVs, I think, and radio receivers, and then they moved into ham radio. I think that's right. Benton Harbor, I think that's ham. Heathkit. Could be another one that I was thinking of, but man, you could get so many kits and build your own. like I said, I built that descrambler for my scanner in my truck to listen to my local sheriff's office. Frequency inversion is what that is called. Oh, you know, we talked about Echo 1 last week, about big balloons in the sky. And what they did with that was before satellites, and they used those to bounce radio signals off of. They would send those 150-foot diameter aluminum foil balloons up as high as they would go, and they were able to bounce radio signals off of them across the hemisphere.
Well, that's why, you know, sometimes I talk about it, but I know that they have satellites that are on balloons strictly. They have a whole Sataloon program. Yeah. And the very first, you know, Sputnik was filled with helium and was a balloon. That big ball was a ball of helium. So I think they just had
over there.
Yep.
That's where I did the interaction with the cop. Why are you carrying an AR-15 in town? Right there. Right there is where that happened.
Oh, yeah, that gas station does look familiar.
Yep. And right about half a mile away is where the repeater site is that we're going to convert from public service use back to the citizens and give them their tax money back. And we'll have GMRS in town.
Nice.
You know what they're doing out here? They are importing homeless into this little town. They've got this 10,000-foot church that they're converting into a homeless shelter, and they're busing people in from 25 miles away from Oklahoma City out to this little town that has no homeless people whatsoever. They're bringing them out here, and the community is pissed. It's on my Tim Harper W5TAH channel. I've got 2 channels, by the way. 2A Timothy Harper is one of my channels, and then Tim Harper W5TAH is my other channel.
All right.
So,
Roots has been posting your channel all night, and she's been posting the W5TAH. But Roots, can you drop his other channel? It's called Tim Harper 2A
Timothy 2A Timothy Harper.
2A Timothy Harper.
That's my big channel. I've got 23,000 subs from gun content on there.
Nice, bro. Maybe you could repost this video on your community tabs when we get done.
Okay. One thing that's held me back is I've never done editing, and I need to get into that, and I can make some pretty awesome content.
Well, you know what? Let's with our emails, I'll give you my phone number, and I will show you some quick editing over the phone, and you keep giving me some radio intel.
Sounds good. So I sent you one video of me in Florida and my buddy here in central Oklahoma. 2 different videos I want to splice together, because you can see me talking on the beach, and then it switches over to the other video shows him hearing me, and vice versa.
We can do that.
Over 1,200 miles apart.
I got you,
So
brother. We'll hook it up.
Yep. Some of the cool stuff we do there. Hey, Dave Canterbury just dropped a good video today, too. David Canterbury on his channel about a backpack portable radio and NVIS comms, which is your short range, close in. And he made a lot of contacts on his radio, and it's from a company that you can just buy everything in a bag ready to go. As you know, I've pieced my stuff together piece by piece. But this
one right here.
This kit.
If I want to use that, then that has a lot more. It has a completely roll-up solar panel on it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if that's it. How old is that video?
10 hours.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Portable power options that work.
No, that's not the video. There's another one that he just posted today. David Canterbury.
I'm already subbed.
Yeah.
I'm subbed up to you, David. The new King 25-second video, how to become this one 2 days ago. Testing.
Yeah, I saw it today.
Morning, folks. I'm David Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the past. Quick before we types of coax to your radio.
Nice. And it comes with a woodland bag. Yeah, y'all check that video out.
So Dave Canterbury just recently, in the past year and a half, got into amateur radio. He learned about it, and I watched him grow. At first, it was so funny as a seasoned ham operator to watch him talk about things, not really knowing what he was. He didn't know what he was talking about, but he
Yep.
was getting into it, and that's what I liked. He's got the terminology down now. He's got everything down. He's getting into it well, and it's something that you're going to have to learn over time. Just like with your guns and prepping, this is something you've got to get your feet wet into to learn it and actually be able to use it. You can't
Awesome.
watch a video. It's just like watching a bunch of dirt bike riding videos and then expect to get on that KX 450 and not go to the hospital.
Cool, man. Well, yo, I think we're about 3 hours and 45 minutes going, man. So I think I'm gonna cut it here because I gotta get up a little early. But dude, Tim,
I'll come on anytime you want me on. I'll talk about political shit too. Everything
Hell
that's
yeah.
going on in the world, I'm pretty plugged in. Tonight we focused on radios. The world beyond, Baofengs. There's a
Yep.
whole different use to radios outside of a Baofeng on your plate carrier, walking around, being CQB guy or radios. There's a
Yep.
lot more use to it. So let's see if we can look at something here. I don't know if we can even see it. That's the car that's going to be on the road here in the next year.
Nice.
Can't see it very good in the dark, but yeah, we've gone on a while. And hell, I've got a big radio channel too. I'd like to start doing some more with it. I've basically abandoned it in the past 3 years, but it's still there with 23,000 subscribers. And I want to get back into doing gun content. I've got some cool shit, cool places to go to do stuff and interesting things other than just going around and auditing. I've got a lot of experience. I've worked with law enforcement, military, and other stuff too. And basically just been busy doing other stuff lately, and I want to get back into it. So if you want me back on at any point in time, let me know.
Tim, we could do it again next week, man. But if you got time.
Yeah, like you saw it at work, I just kind of basically sit around and take my readings. I carry this at Walmart. Turn where the light can see. It's hard to see. I know. Walmart bag. It's a tennis bag.
What it is.
Yeah. Got a 300. That's my new 300 blackout. Now, see, I think their YouTube rules are if you don't hold it or touch it, you can show it, right?
Yeah, but let's not chance it. They hate me.
Yeah. I hear you. It's in here.
Nice.
So,
I got my 300 blackout sitting over here next to me. So
yeah. BRN 180s are pretty cool because they don't have a buffer tube. They they can fold it small. It's opened up in this bag. I got one that's a smaller bag that I can
You run it suppressed?
But not in this configuration, not in the carry into Walmart type deal.
Nice.
And that's used for carrying into Walmart.
Very cool.
I go into Walmart with an AR-15 a lot of the time, so
nice.
That's pretty crazy. I just this guy in Missouri or somewhere did it and got in trouble for it, even though it was legal. Everything he did was legal, but they still arrested him. And I don't want to cause panic. I don't want to panic these people out walking in with a rifle.
No.
But I still do it. As long as they can't see it,
they don't care.
They've never said nothing. And I'm usually carrying something like that all the time on me.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we'll call it a go. And trying to see what I left in here. I don't leave guns in my car.
Nice, man. I don't either. I appreciate you, brother, man. We'll get back and forth in the emails this week, and yeah, we can do it again next week, man.
Now I know to be on here at 8:30 in the afternoon, not 9:30 my time. I apologize for that too.
No,
I got
man,
my wires crossed.
I had a feeling you'd be coming through.
Yeah, I had all this stuff ready and everything too. I brought some show and tell shit, And I got a lot more show and tell stuff too.
Let's do part 2 next week.
Yeah, we might do that. I've talked about a whole lot. You guys write down your questions, and I'll try to answer them for you. Maybe, and I sent you a ton of videos.
Yeah, I got through probably half of them, but I've been working all week and stuff. I got 3 toddlers too that I work my time around.
Also, I sent a bunch of pictures and just check it out and show a picture and I'll explain it.
Will do. You're coming in with a lot of wind right now.
It's windy out here in Oklahoma.
Yep. All right, Tim, I appreciate you, y'all, and I'm going to close the show out. I'm going to bring you down. All right, Tim?
All right, later.
All right, later, bro. All right, y'all. Appreciate you kicking it with me, making it through this long live. I hope I even took notes on my own live. One of the first times I'm taking notes. That's kind of stuff Tim is dropping over here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will probably go back through and make sure I didn't miss any information, but that is one of the reasons why I took notes. And come check us out next week. We'll be having Tim Harper back for part 2 of Beyond Baofengs on Fuck It Friday. So you guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the next one. Deuce.
Look pretty cool though. Spend a little bit of light trying to find my heart. Funny when I break out a lifestyle dark. Honey when I rank in a tight flow spark. With a psycho drop, playing dice go starter. Who are you? Better know yourself. Know your soul, gotta know your wealth. Slow your mind, get know your method. Don't you follow me like hell? Well, who am I? Am I me? I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Let you try to get myself a lamb color trust for the game.
Yo, y'all, that was absolutely awesome. If you guys are still here, man, appreciate y'all. Yo, Drew in Oregon still in the building. I wonder where you went, brother. Appreciate you guys. Yo, let's get these radios going, y'all. Let's do it. I'm gonna get that GMRS license, and obviously I'm investing in something better than the Baofeng now that he's got me on some things that we need to pick up. It looks like that one for $30 is where it's at. And yeah, y'all. Let's get it going, and appreciate everybody. Stay prayed up. Keep your faith. We may make it out of this. So keep your head on a swivel. Keep that thing on you. Keep your faith.